Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, episode 349 for the week of April 3rd, 2018. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager, happy birthday.
Oh, that's a funny last name.
Yeah, because it's your birthday.
It is my birthday today. Thank you, Brock.
Get the fuck out of here. It's your birthday today?
It's my birthday today.
Is that true?
It is true.
Happy birthday!
Right?
Feliz Compaños. You.
What?
Is that not right?
No.
Thank you for our audience in the background.
I think that Feliz Cumpleaños is close.
Can you say that again?
Wait, I never checked these settings after you guys recorded, so let me make sure this is all good. Okay, yeah, we're fine.
Do
okay,
I sound like Toby when he's trying to speak English? Oh, where's Toby? He's not here. He'll show up in an
Racist
hour
slam.
and wonder. It's definitely not racist.
What's your name?
I'm sorry. The man without fear, Bryce Larsen.
That's my shirt.
Jim Jokisch.
And Charlie.
Hello, everyone. We're back.
Hello.
After Bryce and Toby and Scott, they tried.
What does that mean?
0.5 episode up in the
tried.
feed.
0.5, it was great.
0.5 episode up in the feed. We were gone last week, or I was gone last week, so we didn't record a normal episode.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was an amazing episode.
The first episode of the Dark Conspiracy. I don't know what makes it any different.
Because we added Scott, and we're not sure. Like, is that a permanent sub thing, or
It's like a third spinoff.
Exactly. How many spinoffs can we do? I don't know. So I don't know.
It's like the ecstatics of the
Starting
conspiracy.
to sound like a Marvel sponsored thing.
you dare?
I meant it being the best comic of all time.
In his opinion.
I know that you love it, but fuck me, I could not handle that.
See, thank you. I hated it. I couldn't get through it either.
Dupe, baby.
Dupe.
Yeah. Dupe's amazing.
Dupe was the only thing.
Love Dupe. I've said this many times. Ecstatics, Mike Allred, whatever the fuck the other guy's name is.
Peter Milligan.
Peter Milligan. Like, if it wasn't X-Force and they dropped that creative team and total line change in the middle of like a story arc and had it as a separate title, sure, I probably would have appreciated it in a very different capacity. I probably still would not have liked it, but I would have given it a shot. And then, like, I would have, been able to sleep well at night. But such as it is, as history actually went, yeah, fuck that shit. It was in the middle of me loving X-Force, and it was like, what the fuck? And they didn't even spend a single panel being like, oh yeah, that was funny.
By the way,
we're all totally different. Yeah, it was just
but that was during a lot of weird shakeups they were doing.
It was right after, what was it?
Was that whenever
Nation X or something? It was like
was that whenever Soldier X and Agent X and all those? Whenever they lost Liefeld's, or they were fighting with Liefeld about the license.
Soldier X, you're right. Agent X, I thought was different,
Deadpool?
Although maybe
that was at the same time.
Same time. Okay,
yeah.
And it was when they got what's the guy? What's the guy that did Counter X? The Counter
Warren
X
Ellis?
stories.
That was before. That was like late 90s. That was a couple years prior.
I thought that Nation X was very quickly followed by X-Force being taken over by the Allred crew.
No, Nation X is
don't
like...
remember. I don't remember.
Okay. I thought...
Anyway.
Okay.
I was gone last week. Happened to spend a week in Seattle. Beautiful city. Really like Seattle.
Really?
Comic book related. I didn't do much comic stuff, but if you are up in Seattle, the Museum of Pop Culture in a couple weeks is opening a Marvel exhibit with comics, stuff, props from the movies, costumes, TV show stuff, as well as, there's a lot of comic stuff too. It's not just movie stuff. So definitely worth going to that. The Museum of Pop Culture is really, really cool. We spent a couple hours there. It's really neat stuff.
Museum of Pop Culture, that sounds like just a mess waiting to happen.
No, they had a big Star Trek exhibit because it was the 50th anniversary.
Big Miley Cyrus exhibit.
No, they had one on Jimi Hendrix. They had one on Kurt Cobain. They had is video game art sort of set up with a bunch of indie games curated by Nintendo. They had a whole the bottom section, man, was all yours. It was horror, science fiction, and fantasy.
Awesome.
And I sent you the pictures
and the Highlander
of the Highlander costumes
down there
yeah.
too.
Jim loves a good
That was
bottom.
awesome.
Yeah. They have things like everything from Wizard of her dress from Wizard of Oz and the hat, the witch's hat to Terminator to xenomorphs,
Wow.
like full, actual in-use costumes.
Cool.
A couple Daleks, a Dalek and a Cyberman for Charlie.
Very nice.
So, yeah, a lot
Is this
of cool stuff.
well known nationally?
I mean, I don't know. It was called something else. They just rebranded it a little while ago. It's called the Mopop now, Museum of Pop Culture.
You just happened to find it, or you knew you were?
sounds
No,
like
we knew. It's
knew.
right next to the Space Needle.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's in that little touristy little district
Got it.
right there.
That's an unfortunate name change, but what you're describing sounds very cool. I've never heard of it before. Okay, all right.
Yeah, totally worth going to if you're up there. We have a bunch of news to talk about since a bunch of this happened while I was gone. Most Marvel related. Bryce, thank God you're here.
Thank God.
Let's start.
I can rest easy.
Let's start with the big one. The big
I don't
one.
know about that.
Oh dear, what's happened?
You're gonna find out.
Is this in the show notes that I should have read?
I don't.
He didn't actually
I
put
don't
out
think
show
it's
notes this week.
nothing. I think Bryce is going to dislike.
Oh, okay. Well, then I like that notification.
After many years of wondering what was going to go on, we finally have. Oops! Come on, stupid ads! Stop! Seriously, autoplay ads need to just not exist ever. It's the worst.
Get a fucking Mac, dude.
Do they not autoplay ads in
Hey,
in
subject
Macs?
change real fast. Linda Carter gets her star on the Walk of Fame tomorrow.
Yeah. I saw that.
That's very cool.
is
Almost
very
as cool as owning a Mac. Book.
I just need better ad blocker apparently.
Or just get a MacBook.
After many years of not knowing the status of this specific team from Marvel, we finally have news. As part of Marvel's Fresh Start initiative,
I know what you're talking about.
they announced the return of the Fantastic Four.
Whoa, the
After
Four.
the Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay, those
Yes.
guys.
Yeah. Sorry, I said it a little fast.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Fantastic Four. It's going to
First
come out.
family of Marvel finally gets a book.
So they're
again.
just bringing Sue and Richard back because we already
and
have.
reforming the team.
Yeah, and 2-in-1 will continue. Chip Zdarsky's 2-in-1. Now, I had put money on
Really?
Zdarsky writing FF. Yeah.
I don't
How much did
work
you
in the
lose?
comic book industry, but I also
Didn't
would
lose
have
any, but-
guessed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the team they have on
So
it
it's not.
anyways.
Yeah, me
It's,
too.
it's Dan Slott and Sarah Pichelli, which, I mean, I think it's a great team. Slott's got a good eye for a good hand, good ear. What's the word I'm looking for? Because he writes it. For kind of some level of comedy, but also family drama. He's done a lot of that in Spider-Man.
I think that it's good ear
Yeah.
because it's not good eye and it's not good hand. Although I bet he has a good hand.
Whoa.
What is
So it comes out August.
What is whoa?
Which means
I
we'll
just
get
meant
the
that he's,
official
probably a good artist.
solicitations June. Yeah, June. So still a few months off. So it's going to be a little bit of build up before they come back. But yeah.
Okay,
it's
so question:
very good to
did they
see FF
see
back.
how well the Terrifics were doing for DC and say,
Yes, all two issues of it.
"We
yeah.
have some IP in this realm. We should weigh in here."
You know,
I mean, I'm like 80%
The Terrifics
joking.
has been really good.
there was
That's what you guys say.
there was
I'm
hope
sure
for
it is.
Legacy, and then it launched, and it was a big fat dud. And then
What?
now that they've canceled half their line, they've refocused a shitload of stuff. They've started to bring back levels of the classic characters back in. A bunch of the stories we've talked about, Amazing Spider-Man and Thanos and Avengers, kind of all starting to pick up steam. Finally, some interest, some real interest is coming back to Marvel, both at our store and on a national level. You're seeing actually some decent sales on a number of these titles. And I hope Fresh Start is actually the thing that sticks this time. I hope it is.
Why
who
do
knows?
you
I
even-
thought
why do you-
Hope died with Legacy.
Why do you even set yourself up for failure like that? There's no way that it'll stick.
Well, most of the creative teams seem pretty solid.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that they're going to relaunch after 18 months because that's
There you
just
go.
what they're going to
Okay,
do.
good. All right.
I just hope
So as long as
they
we're on the same page.
sell. That's what I want because
Oh, okay.
we had a few. We had just they start and then crash and start and crash and burn, start and crash and
This
burn.
run right now is just flying off the shelves.
This is the first time I've seen sales increase naturally through a run at Marvel in I couldn't tell you when. It's been forever.
They've been fucking
Vision.
great. There's been a bunch of great books.
Vision stayed very flat. I mean, we sold a lot, but it didn't really grow.
Yeah, didn't we figure out that Vision was like, as much as we love it, it was like
Oh, it didn't sell.
40th
It didn't-
or
no, yeah,
something?
No, not even that. No, Vision didn't sell
Not
good
even
at all.
40th?
No. Vision didn't sell good at
Yeah,
all.
but
That is a crime.
it
seemed to pick up with like trades. And you wouldn't get a hardcover like that if there wasn't legitimate strength in the book, basically.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, it was fucking amazing. Just like me.
So very excited for the return of the FF. Slots for now writing Iron Man and Fantastic Four, so he's gone from Spider-Man over.
No, he's doing Iron Man too, or Iron Man as well.
Yeah, he's taking over Iron Man post Bendis. So
okay, it is weird to like see Iron Man books still coming out that have Bendis' name on it. It's like,
well, there's still one issue of we're gonna get an issue of Spider-Man after the release of Action 1000, which will be his first published DC work. Dude, they have pulled Bendis out. They gave Bendis the fucking royal treatment over at DC. He was on the tour for Krypton. He was talking with that. He was on the little trivia thing. He was on an Action 1000, a number of different panels about Action 1000. I think, is he going to be at the Action 1000 museum in DC? The museum piece they're doing. I can't remember.
Well, didn't he go to C2?
He was at he was at WonderCon.
WonderCon C2.
Was he at WonderCon? Did they bring him out at WonderCon? They must. Yeah, he must have been out there at WonderCon.
I know he was at Emerald City for the first time in forever.
Yeah. It's crazy how much DC is pushing him out. But yeah, he still has an issue of Spider-Man coming out, and Iron Man 600 is going to be the final issue. So, and actually,
Jessica Jones is done.
Jessica Jones is done. Defenders is done. Yeah, and Action 1000's in 2 weeks. So,
don't remind me.
I don't think those are going to be there quite in time. But yeah, the Fantastic Four are back. Yay! So hopefully it's the book we wanted.
Yeah, now will you complain or stop complaining? No, you probably won't.
Once they announced the team on it, I was very hopeful. And I mean, bring back the Fantastic Four at this point, like, how many times recently in all these big events with Legacy and Generations and all that, one of the biggest rumors you hear around it is maybe this is how they're going to bring back the Fantastic Four. Yeah. So, yeah. I just kind of feel like they're finally going, the fans obviously want this.
How many years they've been gone right now?
3.
3? Yep.
3 and change.
I'd love to go back to the podcast when, at the end of Secret Wars, they, like, quote-unquote, went away, and Higgins, troll-ass that he is, said, "Oh, it'll be funny when we get the Fantastic Four back in 6 weeks."
Mm-hmm.
I think we're too busy talking about how they removed the Fantastic Four because of all the movie stuff at the time.
That wonderful movie, the last Fantastic Four wonderful movie.
Yeah, if you guys haven't listened to the last episode of the Geek Box, Mr. Ryan Scott and Ryan Higgins have a good little 5 or 10 minutes there where they explain, as much as I get a hard on thinking about all the Fox properties coming back to Marvel, it's not going to happen for another couple of years. Sorry.
Yeah.
A year to a year and a half minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can start building back up the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If it even happens.
But, like, I was of the impression, like Ryan Scott, that, like, I thought that it would be expedited much more so than it is. And you rightly point out that, contracts, legal, fucking, I don't know if it's...
Well, just talk of, like, Senate hearings for the deal and everything.
Senate hearings?
Yeah, because it's a major deal. It's this would be, I have to assume, the biggest entertainment merger
in a long time.
In history. So,
okay, well, I hope that it still goes through. But yes, good point. It is not as turnkey as I would like it to be. So yeah,
there's another big Marvel announcement. It's not the return. It's not the return of anything. It's the death of something, but it's the death I think we can all get behind of. Donny Cates and Ariel Olivetti.
Milkman Man?
Old Milkman Man? No, if only. Donny Cates and Ariel Olivetti are doing the Death of the Inhumans book. So
what?
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Woof.
By the way, that creative team sounds...
The fake X-Men are gone.
Get them out of here! I really like the Royal Family. Love the Royal Family. The original Inhumans, love them. Fucking cannot stand the fake X-Men. Get them out of here!
All the Inhumans books need to end and go away for a good couple of years.
At least.
And then once the Fantastic Four book has been around for a few years,
and bring the
later. Royal Family back.
Yep. Game of Thrones, that shit.
Into FF, and just be the norm. Get rid of all these.
Just banish them back to the moon and no way to get back for a while.
The new Inhumans?
All the random crap. Inhumans, and the third tier characters.
They tried
all the replacements.
so hard, and it was so annoying.
So bad.
It was so annoying how hard they tried to make it work, and it's like, Kamala Khan,
you know how hard they tried?
She's popular and young. Oh, no, she's an Inhuman. What
you know how hard they tried? They got Joe Mad to come in and draw some shit. That's how hard they tried.
Joe Mad work on Inhumans?
Yeah,
are you thinking about John Boy Myers?
He did that first Inhumans book.
No, that's John Boy Myers.
That's John Boy Myers.
It was John Boy Myers? Oh, I thought it was... No, did he...
The thing is, he is a great artist. And
John Boy Myers?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you should not throw shade, so there you go. That's it. That's all I had to say.
No, I'm very happy. I want the Humans to just go away for a little bit and bring them back when anyone cares.
No, I want them to go away a while, more than a little bit.
It's crazy.
Banish them to the blue side of the moon.
Yeah,
and just
and that creative team. Donny Cates, I mean, he's on fire at Marvel. Ariel Olivetti hasn't done a ton of stuff, and he's such a good artist. So I'm super down with him.
Inhumans.
With him coming back. We do have
Medusa's head.
There are two more.
I don't want to think about that. Thanks.
There are two more random comic bits here that I want to talk to. We don't have a lot of info on this first one. I mean, we don't have a lot of info on any of these, but it's good to talk about. We know what the Infinity Countdown is counting down to. It's counting down to Infinity Wars.
Oh, my goodness.
That's going to be Marvel's fall event. I don't know that. Do we have a date on that yet?
The only.
I'm sorry. It's July. So so that should be in the May catalog, which means it'll be in. I guarantee you they're going to announce it at C2E2, which is coming up.
Or it'll be announced in the next previews with all black covers. We can't see what.
Yeah.
No. They showed us the first cover, so the solicitation info should be in the next previews. Yeah, because that'll be the May for July release. The cover has Adam Warlock, Doctor Strange, Gamora, Captain Marvel, Peter Quill, Loki, and Thanos, Star-Lord, as he's also known. Peter Quill, that is. And there's a hooded character with a mask. He's got an infinity shape around their eyes.
It's Clint Barton.
Is he finally back? So it's going to come.
Call back to Ronan.
Oh yeah. Stupid Ronan. Infinity War Prime is going to be the one shot. Here we go. C2E2 starts on April 6th. They will have lots more info coming there. So
and in 3 days.
Yep. So obviously we knew the countdown was leading to something. So new Infinity War. I'm surprised they just didn't do to have a book called Infinity Gauntlet. But I mean, I guess Infinity War to go along with the movie.
Yeah.
Infinity
Wars.
Yeah. It's
add the S
enough,
on there.
though.
We've already had an Infinity War.
We're gonna add the S.
That's right.
Well, these, I've loved these space characters. These are my favorite parts of Marvel, and
they just haven't been.
No, they did such a disservice to these characters after such good build up with the Guardians pre the movies. Mm-hmm. They just couldn't. I couldn't figure out what to do with them in the last handful of years. I did like the last arc of Guardians where they're going up kind of against the Nova Corps, although I don't really like the way they portray the Nova Corps. But
wait, what did you like about it?
That's because you have Nova Corps love.
Wait, what don't you like about it? It was fine. It was a very different take, but
yeah, they're all kind of bumbling, and a bunch of them are corrupt, and like that. And that's a very different take on the Nova Corps than we've seen before. It seemed like some schlubs.
I think it's also that he hated the new Nova kid.
That was.
But he's not. I mean, he's not gone, but he's basically been just shoved into Champions and does not show up at anything else, so I can completely ignore him. And he has no connection to the Nova Corps.
At a high level, they've made the Nova Corps so much greater than it was a decade ago, and despite Bendis's last year or two on it...
Oh, Bendis wasn't writing Guardians. That was Jerry Dugan, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jerry Dugan?
Yeah.
Who's the guy that I love? Al Ewing. Okay, never mind. Jerry Dugan. Bendis.
Dugan's fine. I mean,
Bendis was.
When did Bendis get off it?
When they relaunched it.
All right. Well,
in spite of their popularity in the movies, Guardians is a tough book to get. Has been a tough book to get behind.
Jerry Dugan and Mike Deodato are doing the Infinity Wars, and they're doing Countdown, and they did Guardians. So
I didn't read that about the Nova Corps, but I like what they've done with the Nova Corps. So I don't know what to say. Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying I've liked the first couple issues of Countdown. I've liked the last arc of Guardians, so I like the the Adam Warlock one shot, Mike Allred art. I don't know if you.
Of course,
No.
If that didn't work for you.
I already talked about this. I fucking love it. Mike Allred art does not turn me off. It's when they fucking bait and switch me into buying an X-Force comic. I love Mike Allred art when it's on some batshit crazy thing like Adam Warlock. That was a. By the way, I've already talked about this, so I won't belabor it. Go buy that Adam Warlock one shot.
Yeah,
you can find it now.
So that was Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh.
151, right?
Yeah.
That's what that issue was supposed to be. But they canceled the series and said, "Hey, let's do this," because all this was supposed to run in Guardians.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
they're like,
well,
let's make it its own little event.
It was a great read. So yeah, Mike Allred art does not by itself give me pause.
I haven't read
And I loved everything Allred did on Surfer, so putting
Oh,
him
you
on
did?
more space.
Charlie.
Yeah, huh?
Didn't see that.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, Charlie's gonna.
It's not like I haven't talked about Surfer for years.
Thanks, Charlie.
Best book of the year,
Just
and the
like
year
Surfer.
before.
I
Charlie.
like Surfer.
Biden.
I can't get behind Allred's art.
Oh, I love him.
To each his own.
He's
So we
killing
have-
me, Jim.
I'm sorry.
So what you're telling us is read the Abbott and Lanning Guardians.
You can do that, yeah.
We've
Yeah.
said that for years. That's,
So we have one more bit of Marvel news here, which I know Bryce has not seen yet, so I want to get his
oh my god,
his
This
opinion.
is a virgin
Deadpool's
reaction.
pink costume.
Well, there's that.
I saw that. That is fucking phenomenal. That's so awesome.
It's going to be announced, officially talked about at C2E2, the True Believers panel on Sunday, April 8th. So
Mark your calendar.
that's at C2E2. That's where they're going to discuss this particular book. The book is called Extermination, EXTER with a capital.
Oh, missed opportunity.
With
EX?
with a capital X, though, with a big X, a much bigger
Why
X.
isn't it X-termination?
Because I'm sure they've done that before.
Yeah.
Written by
I don't think they have, but okay.
Bryce's son himself, Ed Bryson. An artist.
My man, my own baby boy. Oh, what's his name? Ed. My only
You
son.
don't know your son's name?
My only son, Ed. Ed, Bryce's son. You doing so?
Who's illustrating it?
An artist, Pepe Larraz.
I love Pepe Larraz.
And
Actually, I really, really like Pepe Larraz. And Ed Bryson, what has he done?
lots of
Wow.
random Marvel
He's
stuff
not even
right
following
now.
his son's
Yeah, he's
art.
doing
You
all
know,
Old Man Logan,
my
he's
son's
doing Iron
probably
Fist.
into
Yeah.
like Instagram and Snapchat, and I can't follow him anymore. So I don't even know what he's working on. He left the house a long time ago. His mother and I couldn't.
Yeah, he's
bother.
doing Old Man Logan.
He is.
Yeah.
Old man, I love Old Man Logan.
So we obviously don't know. Where this is going to end up. Although most people assume that we're getting rid of the kids.
What
the
is that?
tagline is "Exterminate the past, eliminate the future." August 2018. It's all five of the kids, kind of in like their classic
Oh my
costume.
God! Look!
With a lightning bolt coming down the center with their new kind of takes on the other
I
side.
need to see this picture, but I have to say, if my son is going to do anything, it's going to be to get rid of Bendis's troll ass X-Men Blue and bring about some quality Golden Age X-Men motherfucking bullshit. And
Not Jimmy Hudson.
and make X-Men great again. That is what my son is going to do.
Most again, I don't see how you
Would
look
that
at
be
this and you don't read
Bryce
into
quotes
them.
you heard it right here. Make X-Men great
great
again.
You know, I don't see how
make
you.
him a hat.
I don't see how you look at this and you don't see we're
not
gonna
able
get
to.
rid of the kids and we're gonna bring back. I mean, that's obviously the hope of I would assume most fans.
Speaking,
Yeah.
is she going to come back too?
Oh, damn it, Brock.
And
Beat you to it.
Yeah.
Beat him by
you did.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
called Extermination. So maybe but the whole exterminate the past, eliminate the future. If you're like, well, if you
Exterminate the past, eliminate the future?
kill the kids, right? Then the X-Men never get formed, so anything that happens in the modern day would go away. So therefore, the kids have
It's
to
an
go
alternate
back.
timeline, right? So
No, the kids are from the well, yeah, no, the kids
Well,
are
there's
from
some
the past.
from the
craziness.
past.
There's
Only
some
Hudson is.
There's some craziness going on in X-Men Blue right now with them turning into some bad guys. I'm not sure if that's resolved yet or not.
Well, they'll resolve that.
Okay, so I'm 2 issues behind. I can't get through the Venom stuff. I'm hating it. It's killing me slowly. But not slowly enough. Nice try, Bryce's son. So anyway, Bryce's son, good job. I'm very excited that you're making your daddy proud. Yeah, this sounds, from what you said, this sounds incredible. Get rid of the kids, retitle them to Uncanny and just regular X-Men.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think that's needed, I would love it.
When they did the relaunch of FF, the announcement, they had four. Once an hour. They had 4 1 panel like little taglines, and it was amazing and in the Amazing Spider-Man font and like a scene in New York. It was uncanny in that like that classic 90s X-Men font. It was mighty in like the classic Thor font, and then the fourth one was Fantastic Four. So when this first started, people were like, "Are they bringing back Uncanny X-Men? Like, is that what this is heading to?" But then people realized, "Oh wait, we're counting up the 4. Clearly, this is going to be, Fantastic Four related." But that could also be an Uncanny X-Men related.
Yeah.
Because we have Amazing Spider-Man's back to...
No, I'm not getting my
Amazing
notes up.
Spider-Man's getting
They've
numbered.
burned me.
Mighty Thor is getting renumbered. So it's back to Amazing Spider-Man, back to Thor. Well, not that Amazing Spider-Man hasn't been it, but Spider-Man, Thor, FF...
Would, if they were to renumber Uncanny or X-Men, quote-unquote, plain, what the fuck do you call it? Would either or both of them be approaching, like, major...
Well, no, remember, they relaunched X-Men at 600, right?
Oh, that's
so
right,
it'd be
that's right.
626 or whatever, or 630.
Has it only been 26 issues since...
Of Gold.
That? Okay.
Gold would be the series I would put as the numbered continuation.
Yep,
I mean, it could pick up at 601,
fair.
but...
Unless they cheat
No.
and just take them both and put them directly in Uncanny just to get to 650.
Yeah.
No. That would be too much to
That'd
ask.
be silly.
Yes.
Wait,
Almost as silly as Jean Grey's.
Okay,
costume.
so my son and Pepe Larraz, that sounds like a dream team. Sign me up. I am excited for some Extermination. Although I still think that there's no Extermination.
Now I really
arc.
want this event to just like wipe out the X-Men altogether. There are no X-Men, so I can be like, "You asked for it, Bryce."
Charlie, you're the worst. Tonight, you're the worst. Why would you say that? Cable would be gone, Charlie.
I was just gonna say that.
Cable's number one fan, Bryce Larsen,
Cable-
who doesn't want to wipe out Cable.
Surpasses all timelines.
See, the thing is Cable wouldn't be gone, Deadpool wouldn't be gone, and it'll be a team-up book between Deadpool and Cable to find Hope to bring all the X-Men back.
No, it'd be Cable, Deadpool with Bishop, and all the time travelers in order to bring back the X-Men.
Okay. I like how all the time travelers is just the two of them. But that would be a great team-up book.
No. Rachel Gray Summers was also a time traveler.
Yeah.
I thought that she was like... She's not
Well,
the time
she
traveler.
was
Sometimes
Time
she's
traveler.
the victim of time travel
traveler.
is different than proactive time traveling.
You say a victim of time travel?
Yeah, isn't she?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, is nerd alert.
Oh, she was more like pulled back, right? It's
Yeah. From Days of Future Past?
Yeah.
I'm a nerd, Brock. That's what I sound like when I laugh. That was a natural Bryce laugh. When you guys are all...
Sounded like you were
Next.
Yeah, please, let's move on.
So very excited for the FF to return and the X-Men and Inhumans to die. So,
Okay. Not funny. So, what you're basically talking about is like a return to the golden age of Marvel Comics. Like, if everything that
Silver Age, but sure.
Okay, so after
I meant in
after
terms
these
of-
four titles come back,
Lowercase G.
after these four titles
Yes.
come back, what's next? Incredible Hulk.
I mean,
We have Immortal Hulk.
yeah,
Oh, we got Immortal.
that shit's gonna last 6 issues before they rename it back to Incredible. I hate the concept of the.
Somebody
Immortal
write that
Hulk.
down that Higgins just called that.
It'll
Yeah,
last
I mean, I agree.
2 years. Yeah.
But it's just supposed to be a story arc. Art done by Pepe the Raz, by the way, the awesome artist co-working with my son on a new X-Men book.
Pepper Larraz doing the Hulk book.
Wasn't he doing Avengers No Surrender? Pepper Larraz? Wasn't he?
Oh yes, No Surrender. Yeah. No, I mean the upcoming Hulk. Title.
Well, he was introduced or reintroduced. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is H. Hulk.
Nah.
That's how that goes, right?
Yes. No, he. No, the new Hulk book is they're going to cancel the recently renumbered Incredible Hulk book that doesn't have the Incredible Hulk in it because it has
She-Hulk?
stupid. No, it has stupid. What's his face?
Oh, Amadeus Cho.
Amadeus Cho. And now we're going to get the Immortal Hulk, which is going to be his
like a horror book or
Yeah.
garbage.
It's going to be like a horror comic. Well, I mean,
Jim and I love it.
4 out of 5 ain't bad,
Hey,
Marvel.
remember that
Keep trying.
Island of Dr. Moreau?
Yeah. Keep trying, Marvel. Keep trying. Let's move on to the movie and TV show front. If you were excited to see Dark Phoenix and New Mutants in the theaters, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Dark Phoenix, which was scheduled for November this year, was pushed back
Sorry, Bryce.
Sorry, fucking not sorry. I'm so excited by this news.
This push back?
I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Get it out of there. I want it to be canceled altogether.
Dark Phoenix?
Absolutely.
Whoa.
There is no way that movie is any good. There is no way. First of all,
probably not based off all this news. Yeah, probably
First
not.
of all, Sansa Stark is the worst Jean Grey ever. You heard it here, in case you didn't already hear it.
It's you know what?
Sansa Stark is
it's not her. It's not anyone
It is
in the
her.
movie. No. It's Bryan Singer. It's everyone involved in the X-Men movies. They need to completely trash everyone involved and start over from scratch at this point.
How
it's become
on
such
earth are
a
you
mess.
so easily saying that, and you haven't ever said it about the DC Extended Universe?
I think they need.
I feel the
What?
exact same way about the Fox X-Men universe, and I fucking love the X-Men, and you've never said that about the DC universe, when they should do the exact same thing. They should start over. Yes.
The X-Men. See, okay.
What?
The X-Men movies
They're both...
don't count, right?
The original
Because they're not
three.
part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
So they don't count. It doesn't matter what they do.
Yeah,
they
but-
should just start over completely.
Okay.
But in my mind, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the real Marvel movie universe,
Yeah,
and the
I agree.
X-Men is this other thing that happens.
Yeah, just like the the Fantastic Four movies. Doesn't count.
Right. So with DC, I mean, they're all DC, so they count. I don't want Snyder involved anymore. I absolutely want them to move on to new creatives and new people, which they have. So cool.
Okay.
Despite me liking the movies, I need them to change so everyone else likes them as well, and they're they become something a little more palatable to most people.
You gotta admit, besides Deadpool, they've become kind of convoluted.
What are you talking? Yeah, it's a mess. I am on record with a huge diatribe about Age of Apocalypse.
When Days of Future Past came out, I was the one that was like, I'm not into this movie.
No, I
People,
still like Days of Future Past, but Age of Apocalypse can go fuck itself.
Age of Apocalypse is real bad. But I
I
mean,
haven't watched it. I need to.
so Logan and Deadpool, the two that were like, we're just going to do our own thing,
Yes.
are the best.
I totally
no
agree.
question.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Deadpool in the 2's
Best
next
X-Men
month.
movie is Deadpool. My God.
Well, but the way I kind of look at it
with the
is
lowest budget and
Yes.
two X-Men.
the bad X-Men movies are really fucking bad, but they've also had a number that worked rather well.
oh yeah,
Like, it's not that they've gone 10 movies in and every single one's been crap. I'm not sure if it's 5 that are good or 6 that are good.
I
but,
think we have
yeah.
to. I think it's time.
As opposed to only one that's good.
Are we gonna rate our?
I
X-Men
think we
movies?
have to rate our X-Men movies
Oh, he's pulling up
on the fly.
Challenge accepted on the fly. Number
here we
one
go.
X-Men movie is X-Men 2. Number 2 X-Men.
Hold on.
What?
Are we counting Logan?
Yes.
Are we counting Logan and Deadpool and
yes.
everything?
Yeah. Yes. You have to.
Okay, but it's not. So Deadpool is not connected though.
Yes,
So
it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is it?
Stewart
though?
or McAvoy. These timelines are so confusing.
I put Logan as number 1. No question.
I got Deadpool and then Logan.
Okay, no, this is the full list. Okay, so it's first of all it's X-Men 2, then it's X-Men 1, and then it's Deadpool, and then it's Logan, and then it's Days of Future Past, and then it's the one where Fassbender is a fucking badass.
First class.
First class, thank you. And then it's
Everything else.
X-Men, X-Men 3, Dumpster Fire, Age of Apocalypse.
What about Origins?
Yeah.
Origins
Wolverine
is last. Like, Origins was horrible.
Which one is Origins?
Wolverine Origins.
Origins.
It was the
Oh, I
one
forgot
with-
about those other two Wolverines.
then you have the
Yeah,
other
those are
Wolverine.
down in Dumpster Fire.
Then you
right?
have
Oh,
No,
Wolverine.
the Wolverine.
I
was
love
good.
Wolverine was good.
Yeah.
Okay. But that is like that is like so.
Okay,
that is the most.
We should come in with our
standalone-
rankings next week.
That is more standalone than Logan.
No.
Okay, that's like middle of the pack.
Logan.
No
the
way.
Wolverine had the weird, like, dreams with Jean in it, and
I'm
he
going.
was dealing with the fact that he had killed her.
I'm going to rank my
remember
X-Men
that.
movies similar in the fashion that I do the MCU movies.
Oh,
in which case,
I hate them all.
in which case there may be multiple that go, but they're all in the same kind of letter grade, and that's going to be Logan, Deadpool. I'm going to put X-Men 2. Those are my 3 favorites. I call those A's. I love X-Men 2. I still think X-Men 2 holds up to
I
this
didn't
day.
like X-Men 2.
Incredible. Yeah, those
Yeah.
top 3. I agree with that.
Yeah.
The Wolverine,
Yeah.
The only thing the biggest flaw in that movie is the end. It's the end.
Fourth best one.
I think so. I'm gonna put First
You
Class.
also like DC movies.
I'll put First
5.
Class under that.
It's 5.
First Class is
And then
you have the worst taste.
1. Again, I these are B. I still like 1 a ton. I think 1's great. I mean, it's aged at this
He's
point.
only in
but
the B level.
I'm on record as saying like X-Men 1. To say that it holds up is stretching the truth because it's so high on my list mostly because of what it did for the industry.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I mean, at the time, that was the best superhero
X-Men,
movie I'd
right,
ever
right.
seen.
Oh, yeah.
The X-Men came out in 2000, and it came out after Blade. It was the first
Real
superhero
Yeah.
movie.
Why are your eyes all wide like you're educating me? I know all this. I lived through it. I remember. I agree with you.
Days of Future Past gets a C, and then D to F is just
Everything else.
is Apocalypse
B
and
is Dumpster Fire.
Apocalypse and Origins and X-Men 3, in whatever order you want. I don't care. They're all fucking terrible.
I think that X-Men 3 should get its own special like class
Category
because it
in
was
hell.
such like fucking
a no
multiple
pass.
man juggernaut that hasn't gone through puberty. I'm the juggernaut.
I think
I would definitely say X-Men 3 was the largest letdown I've had within.
I think
They definitely
Origins
swung for the fences with that movie.
I think
and
Origins was bad.
struck out.
I think Origins is bad. I think X-Men 3 is offensive. Like I dislike.
Well, the
that
thing is,
movie
like
at such a
Origins, at least
base level.
Origins at least was so bad that at least it gave us, it guided us towards having a proper Deadpool.
Kinda.
all it did
kinda
right
true.
was cast Deadpool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That elevator scene just.
Well, Dark Phoenix. To get back to our topic, Dark Phoenix
That's going to
is
go
shifting from
file that
November-
under D for dumpster fire.
November 2nd to February 14th, 2019.
Ooh, Valentine's Day.
And New Mutants, which is originally scheduled for February, right? From February 22nd to August 2nd, 16 months after its original release date. There is reports now that they are refilming 50% of the movie.
Thank God.
So I don't know what in God's name is going on with these
This is
movies.
still a horror movie, though.
Well, let me channel
I'm
the
sure,
Ryan
yeah.
Higgins during
Yeah.
Justice League reshoots. This is perfectly normal. This happens in every single movie ever.
Well,
this
Justice League
is non-news.
Justice League did not get pushed back 16 months.
Wait, I thought you said that it
Reshoots-
was going to originally go next February?
This February.
No, it was supposed to be.
New Mutants was supposed to be.
Who called for the reshoots?
Yeah.
Fox
Wait.
or Marvel?
First of all, great question that I do want to know
Don't
the
know.
answer to.
Don't
Second
know.
of all,
Yeah, New
it was
Mutants-
supposed to be out 2 months ago?
Yes, originally. Yes.
Originally, according to who? According to Fox?
I mean,
Its original
date.
release date before they pushed it back.
This is that small
You know that
horror
there's-
movie with New Mutants?
you know, there's still technically like a Gambit movie scheduled for like 2 months from now.
Channing Tatum?
yeah, like, and where's this Sinister Six movie that was supposed to be out this
Has
year?
pre-production even begun?
No,
How's your
they lost
Cyborg movie
They lost
coming?
it. It's right next to it. It's in the same place. Cyborg movie is actually way more likely to happen because at least the actor's still attached to the role.
Yeah, because he's got fucking nothing else going on in his life.
So yeah, New Mutants originally April 2018. It's August 2019.
yeah.
So
Nice try. 2 months ago.
2 months.
It's this month.
This month. I don't know what the hell's going on with these X-Men movies, but hopefully they.
I don't know. Whenever
them
that
out.
trailer for New Mutants, when that trailer for New Mutants dropped, it was like everybody's like, "What the fuck is this horror shit?"
I thought it looked awesome.
Okay, coming from a company that has to deal with like quarter ends and year ends and like meeting expectations, I can say that all these announcements for these X movies that seem to be not coming out seem to have happened a lot during when this acquisition was taking
Right.
place or being imminently announced. It seems like they were maybe upping their potential value before they were
Acquired.
bid upon or whatever the slang analogy
There's
is.
also a rumor that there's a Kitty Pryde movie with the
Yeah.
working title 143,
Yeah.
which is the issue where she has the demon behind her.
I'm pretty sure I read.
another horror movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that they scrapped the Black Cat Silver Sable thing too. I don't think that's happening. So you're probably right. They're like, look at all the stuff we have planned. Nah, never mind. We filmed half a movie. Forget it.
Yeah, we filmed half of New Mutants. Now we got to finish. We did enough for a trailer.
We made it through the announcements of C2E2 or whatever.
If they have a bunch of announcements that they can put on a PowerPoint to present to investors, that's exactly what I would do if I were them. And I work in a high-powered movie studio.
Make maybe half of them or a quarter of them.
Yeah.
Or less. Yeah.
Well, I think they filmed that Venom trailer like in a weekend, and they're like, "Oh shit! Now we have to make this movie." Oh yeah, Venom.
The Venom trailer that has no Venom.
Yeah,
and the internet is abuzz. It said Venom at the end.
The best Venom trailer was the one where somebody dubbed in frickin' Bane's voice. So.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I haven't seen that. That's
really good.
That sounds like I fucking love Tom Hardy, man. Like
really good.
That guy could. I would love him.
It sounds like the Venom costume was talking to him through the whole frickin' trailer.
That's amazing.
Like the symbiote is.
So enough movie stuff. We're going to talk some TV shows. So a little spoiler here. Although, I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot to really spoil.
Not really much.
Krypton. Any guys get to see any
Both
of it?
episodes.
First 2 episodes?
Just the first one so far.
Jim, you ended up...
First one.
Bryce goes right to Marvel Puzzle Fighter, or Puzzle Heroes, whatever the hell
Marvel
it's called.
Puzzle Quest,
There you
because
go.
I don't watch all your CW shows. So
It's not CW, it's sci-fi.
It's Siffy.
for some reason, I don't get sci-fi, nor do I care about missing out on Krypton.
I watched the first episode, and then I came here, and I don't get it in the hotel. So
Okay. Well, but yeah, we'll at least talk about the pilot real quick. Good, I mean, it's the first episode. The general plot is that this is about Sag-El, who is Clark Kent, or Kal-El's grandfather. It shows him as a young child, his grandfather being killed for basically going against like the religious cults of Krypton and being more. And
how can you talk back to Rao?
the Book of Rao, yes.
Well, I mean, this is the classic case of Jor-El, his father.
This is where you learn a lot of stuff about who the random gods are on the face of that mask. And you can answer questions and hopefully win some money.
No,
that didn't happen.
It was just before the show went on the air. You see a lot of it in Superman mythology where they talk about Jor-El and his sort of fight against the Kryptonian Science Council.
Well,
and
it's his going up against Zod.
Well, I mean,
Depending on the version.
Yeah, but generally speaking, in classic Superman mythology, Jor-El, Superman's father, goes to the council that he's a member of and says, "We are going to be destroyed.
We need to fly into space.
Krypton's going to be destroyed." And they're like, get out of here, Jor-El. You're stupid, old man. And then the world blows up and he shoots Superman out.
Go, Jor-El, you're drunk.
Yeah, basically, right. That's what they say, right? So we see in Krypton, we see sort of the buildup for it. I'm not going to say the show is, it's not like Game of Thrones level or anything like that, but I mean, definitely when you compare it to like a CW budget, like they've got a budget on this show. It looks really good.
Like for at least for me, when I saw Man of Steel and I saw that opening scene in Krypton, I was like, "Oh shit, this is awesome!" And it's like it's not the same budget, but it's still like I'm seeing stuff in Krypton. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Ryan, be honest. Are you really enjoying it because Adam Strange is there?
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Now, I'm quite curious. Is that Jeff Johns' hat?
I don't know. It could be. It might be. I have no idea. I didn't think about that.
Is that his hat?
It could be. I don't know. So we get a young Sag-El who sees his grandfather killed. And now many years later, he's sort of in a much younger position, but sort of wanting to fight against.
Well, it's also establishing like kind of the culture and society of Krypton and how they have like
they're going like the class
and
system and very very similar to. That's like they didn't really deal with that too much in the movie, but I think a lot of that comes from the John Byrne take.
Yeah,
they have the Science Guild. They have like the military guild. They have the like lawyers. Like they separate out people by like what.
And then there's like the class list, the rank list.
The people that live like on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, this again super common trope. If you're reading the current Aquaman book, they're doing that and that. Obviously, if you watch something like Game of Thrones or any sort of classic fantasy stuff, you always have the class, class system, and you have the serfs or the super poor people or whatever at the bottom that are sort of just like the dregs of society. Yeah. And they dealt with the exact same thing in the Inhumans show too recently when they had that Inhumans show. Except they kind of make the
so they had one viewer
villain. Yeah. Kind of like at least for a few episodes. So
Charlie, did you watch it all?
Inhumans?
Yes.
2 viewers.
Well,
Charlie's drunk. Do you know what we're talking about?
He hasn't played enough Puzzle Quest.
no. I don't think I finished it. I watched
I watched 4. I just stopped.
At least I don't remember how it ended if I watched it all.
It doesn't matter.
I love Marvel and I watch Zero.
Yeah.
But my love for Marvel is outweighed by my dislike of network TV shows.
So again, one of the big points that Brock mentioned before was that after his entire family is killed, he's now the last one left. His parents get killed. A strange man comes to him dressed odd for Krypton, and it turns out it's Adam Strange. A very different take on Adam Strange, but whatever. It's okay.
I don't mind the take on him. I think that
he's kind of like a dickhead. He's like
it's like kind of the early. It would kind of be like what early Adam Strange is, because a lot of times when we see Adam Strange, he's been established in, and this one doesn't seem to have. I can't remember his wife's name.
Adam Strange, Alana.
Like,
oh no, yeah, this will have nothing to do with that.
I don't even know how much of a part he's gonna play in the overall show. Like, I kind of get the impression he's gonna kick certain things off and maybe come in.
He's gonna deliver the message and take off.
So he comes and says, "You may not believe me, but I'm from the future. Your grandson is Superman." And something is coming that's going to change everything, and you have to stop it because Superman has to exist. It's all Back to the Future style. He has Superman's cape, and his cape is slowly disintegrating from the bottom as time is being rewritten. And so time-traveling Adam Strange is here to save Superman, basically. And, of course, the person coming is Brainiac. And now this is, like... Brainiac's fucking creepy, but he is
Gary
Frank,
Jeff Johns Brainiac.
That Jeff Johns Gary Frank arc of Superman. It is that 100% accurate to the comic. It's
when they discover
the
entity, Brainiac, and not all the drones, and robots and stuff.
Yeah, so this is it's ridiculous how accurate this version of Brainiac is to that version.
It's some of it's CG, but that's makeup.
Yeah.
The actual
they had like a little behind the scenes thing, and they showed him getting to the makeup. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, one of the things I really, really liked about that look is they didn't try to change it at all for television. They just kind of embraced exactly.
Well, I think that the Brainiac that Frank drew, that Gary Frank drew in that run was so good. The costume was amazing with the black and then the pink and then
he connects into his ship and into the suit, and it's all like if you see the Borg Queen.
I've seen the picture. Yeah, it's either like the Borg Queen or like when the Matrix was connecting into
very similar style to that. But yeah, no, I was pretty surprised by this show. His obviously stuff will happen. His girlfriend is Lyta Zod, who's I assume going to be Zod's mother. Because Zod's much older than Superman. He's probably the same age as Jor-El, so I think he's contemporary to Jor-El.
Zod was captured in the Phantom Zone and stayed in there, and he didn't age. And then when he comes out, he's
to fight.
Yeah, so
Superman.
So he fought
later.
Jor-El, and then now he's fighting.
Well, Zod and Jor-El were contemporaries. I mean, they're roughly the same age. So I assume they're going to have Lyta Zod she'll have baby.
Oh, look at this cute baby
Zod.
Baby. Oh, jeez, it already had facial hair.
What the hell does Zod have a first name?
General.
Yeah. What is Zod's first name? I have no idea. That's a good trivia question.
That's why we have the internet.
Yeah, what the hell is Zod's first name? I don't have the slightest clue.
Actually, the original Zod did not have facial hair.
No, the original Zod before the movie, totally different character.
Totally.
He looks like a Russian kind of like
exactly. He had the
bandana, like the beanie hat. Yeah.
Was his first appearance during the Cold War? No, I'm serious.
But
he might have. It might have been.
It looked more like a World War II German outfit.
Oh, it's his full name is Druzod.
Oh, Druzod. That's right. Yes. No, I knew that.
Drew.
I knew that. Yeah. Yeah.
Classic Drew.
Yeah.
Trying to kill Superman and then getting killed by Superman.
His first appearance
I'm sorry, that's only in the movie.
in Adventure Comics issue 283. Came out in April of
Classic
1961.
Drew.
So they
Hold on, let me see if
so one part of this show that I think is pretty interesting is that they well, and everyone in the show is British, first of all, so that's cool, except for Adam Strange. I don't know why they're British,
it
but
cool?
it just makes it so much better when everyone has a British accent.
You're. I love you.
It's alien.
Confirmed.
It's exotic.
Exotic? Oh, it's
They
exotic.
they set up that no one except for the elves believe in life on other planets. They're like, no, Rao is the only god. We are the only people that exist. They've already mentioned, like in this would be like a level 1 spoiler, I think, for Bryce.
For fucking you are the spoiler level master. Crazy man.
They've regularly mentioned in interviews. This is not a surprise. Is not hidden that the Thanagarians are going to be in the show.
they've already dropped the
Hawkman is
ritual
going to be
and
in the
stuff.
show. Yeah,
Hawk person.
Yeah, at least Hawkman in some fashion is going to be in the show. So clearly, if Thanagarians exist, they have to meet an alien race at some point. I mean, Thanagarians and Kryptonians aren't the same people. So at some point, very early in the show, they're going to be presented with the fact that there are other races out there. And Kryptonians, if I'm remembering the lore correctly from the comics, they used to be this like spacefaring race, and they went everywhere and they controlled big chunks of the galaxy, and then they receded back just to Krypton. So it seems weird that maybe they're going to realize, wait, we used to be out in the stars. Maybe the Rao people know that there's other alien races, but they're keeping the regular Kryptonians from them. I don't know how they're going to. I don't know what they're doing, but
it's definitely the way they've set up Krypton, because they've already set them up kind of in domes.
Well, that's another thing. I mean,
the thing is like they're.
If I'm going to nitpick anything, it's a little shit like that. They have him in Kandor City. I mean, he's not from Kandor City. They're from another place. Supergirl's from Kandor City. Kandor City's the one that gets bottled.
Yes.
So
No.
Oh.
No, Supergirl's not from
the modern modern story.
Okay.
She
All
is, yeah.
Okay.
But Kandor is the one that gets bottled.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, original Supergirl, I don't know if they ever said like what part of Krypton she's from.
Argo City.
She's from Argo?
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Argo was actually blown into space. That's how.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
You're right.
I am right.
But
Silver
that's
Age.
not where
Silver Age.
Yeah, I think they said the modern one.
Okay.
I think they said or was it Argo and were Argo and Kandor like connective and it cut it in half?
They're like twin cities.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
It's like
Not so much connected, but they're sister cities, basically.
Yeah. I don't know if they said where the elves are from. The Jor-El and
the elves.
Yeah. Then I
don't know.
Well, the
I don't
Keebler
think
elves
they're
are in
from
this
Argo.
tree.
don't remember the city that they're
Yeah,
from.
yeah. But anyway,
It's not
Lord of the
Kandor,
Rings
and
has elves from
not
somewhere
Argo
else.
City, so.
yeah.
I'm
So
trying to get this ring to this fucking mountain.
it's Kandor,
take it
but again, whatever. I mean,
Well, the thing is I think it's the planets, like how just extreme the weather and the atmosphere and all that stuff is on Krypton at the current moment, where everything is kind of in these dome cities that are safe.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's one already okay. Let's picking for Brainiac. It's something to make it easy.
You already have
It's
a dome.
okay.
Like,
It just looks like Time Lord cities to me.
yeah.
But it's one of those things where, like, reading the comics and stuff like that, I kind of envision Krypton as having a little bit more. I don't know, like, they're not as far into the destruction of their planet because their planet blows up from the inside out.
Well, this is very different.
Origin you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, this is different than normally when they show Krypton. It isn't just like this little tiny little section of it. I mean, it is these big, large cities. It's not like what's the big one in Star Trek? The Pole Planet City. It's not
the one that made you vomit.
Oh.
I'm like totally
Okay,
blanking
we're
on it right
totally blanking
now.
out on this one. All right.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Sabotage, right?
Turn into geek
What?
cards.
Sabotage.
What?
Are we talking about the
I'm
movie?
telling all of y'all,
Star Wars?
it's a sabotage.
Star Wars?
Yes.
Oh, Alderaan. No, that's Coruscant.
Coruscant. Thank you.
Yeah, I always go back.
Tatooine?
He said Star Trek.
He said Star Trek. I'm like,
Did I say Star Trek?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant Star Wars.
You're like the one that goes all the way around. I'm like the one that made you
an entire planet city. Star Wars has Coruscant for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Listen,
Sorry.
the thing is, Higgins likes to pretend that he's a big Star Trek fan, but he's really more of a Star Wars fan.
It's the opposite?
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Anyway.
then that's not the thing.
Anyway.
So the dome
was really
cities,
good.
the dome cities are bigger than normal cities. They're not the entire planet, but they are huge.
It does
like
feel
microcontinents.
It does feel a little bit like the city's a little small on this show, and like I don't know if they're going to like other cities on Krypton. Like, it does feel like they need to explore out the world a little bit more. But yeah, whatever. We're only 2 episodes in. I'm really liking it so far. So it's one more show on the list. Oh boy, one more show on the list. Anyone else? You guys like it? Good enough?
Yeah, I'm enjoying
I
it.
like the first episode. Yeah,
I plan to keep up with it. It's definitely one of the most unexplored sort of sections of DC history. So
yeah,
it's kind of cool to just see something completely brand new where they can go any direction they want.
The thing is that nobody has been able to have a big budget on the larger than CW scale for a DC franchise. I mean, not for a Marvel franchise.
Well, but
either.
I mean, even like one of my problems with Gotham as a show is the fact that they've pulled in way too much of stuff from after Batman into it, because Gotham
why
as
are we
a
even
city,
talking about Gotham?
Because it's the closest equivalent that I can get to what they're trying to accomplish.
So talk about dumpster fire.
But Gotham was just supposed to be a horrible city. It didn't necessarily feel like something that we didn't really know a lot of the mythology.
We were supposed to get more of like the Gotham Central, like gritty, like this is a crime-ridden city. We're seeing all the mob bosses, all that stuff, and the corruption and the politics. That's what we thought it was going to be. But they've just brought in the Penguin and everybody from
all the
Rogues Gallery,
all the Rogues Gallery. Now you have the Legion of the Horribles.
And other than Brainiac, who's already sort of been established to have visited Krypton in the past and everything, we're not going to see a lot of other, well, we're going to see some stuff related to Superman. Like, you can bring in some stuff with Doomsday because of his history and that kind of stuff, but I don't expect that. I expect this show to kind of be a awesome sci-fi show that happens to have ties to Superman.
Okay, listen to me. Another thing is that there are many other comic book TV shows out there, and we've just spent half an hour talking about Krypton. As good as I'm sure that
They're
it is,
all being renewed
can
again.
we move on to another comic book TV show?
They're all being renewed again.
Yeah, everything's being
All
renewed
of them.
except for iZombie so far, and hopefully
Black Lightning
hopefully
got a second
iZombie.
season?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
How
And Legends
been so
officially
good.
got picked up again, so Constantine.
Yes. Wait, is he on the Legends, or are they giving him his own show? I didn't
No,
know.
he's
Legends
a
on- Legends on
regular.
tomorrow.
He's going to be a regular on Legends?
Yeah.
Nice.
They realized he's awesome, and
Yeah, we
he
knew this
can't-
years ago.
He can't front his own show, so they'll put him on Legends.
Well, and he has the animated series coming out.
Same voice actor.
We're gonna move on to some questions here. Bunch of questions. Let's see to get to. What time is it? Ooh, an hour in. Okay, we didn't even get to.
They didn't get a real episode. They got some bullshit 0.5. We give them a little bit more this week.
51% of the listeners actually fucking loved it. So
What poll did you pull this out of your ass?
well,
Exactly.
It was the one that was I don't know.
Exactly.
Your
Out of
head's
your
too
ass.
far up your own ass.
Out of your ass.
I got
it was
nothing.
pulled straight out of your ass.
All right, here's a question. It's from Horace. He says, "Who would you gay ship Peter Parker with?" And for hard mode, no Human Torch. So there you go.
Wow.
Well, non-hard mode.
Because Human Torch is the answer.
Pun intended is Human Torch.
Right.
Okay, that makes things a little slippery. Let's see here.
He didn't get the web
Deadpool.
fluid. He didn't get the web fluid right then.
Well done. Do you have an answer or just witty puns?
Those two.
You mean
What?
those as well?
Who cares?
The listeners.
Daredevil, because it would be Daredevil's only relationship that's not likely to end in horrible tragedy.
What are you talking about? Every relationship that they're both in.
I was gonna say,
is
yeah,
tragedy.
they're both gonna die at the same time.
Marvel Comics would be like, Extermination, we're changing the whole thing. Now it's going to be about this relationship. It's no longer. Okay, let me see here.
Iceman.
That's a good shout.
Just push MJ aside and go hook up with Iron Man. So go up with Tony Stark. There you go.
That's pretty good. Boring.
Harry Osborn.
Oh, how about Flash
That's who he
Thompson?
experimented with in college.
Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson as a lover sounds like my
closet
Saturday morning.
He's a closet, right?
Pre-accident.
Yeah, war wounds or
No, what? He's got the Venom symbiote. That sounds sexy.
Moving on.
Samurai Godzilla asks, do you guys think Marvel... Well, he says Marvek, but I'm assuming he means Marvel.
No, that's their
Marvek.
that's their imprint. They're trying to keep up with the fucking
DC.
imprint that DC
Is that the Marvel
doing.
UK? Is that what that
Yeah.
is? Okay.
Do you think they'll bring back adult Cyclops if they actually kill off the original 5 time-displaced sex teens? Yeah, of course. Of course they'll bring back real Cyclops.
The question is, who is he with?
They brought back Jean Grey and she's back. So they could just bring Cyclops back like in a backup strip. Like, it doesn't
You
matter.
seem to have a hard-on for this whole Jean Grey thing. Like, of all comic book characters in the history of comic books, she's literally the Phoenix. Like,
Right,
you seem
but-
to be having kind of a hard time with this.
They kind of brought her back just sort of like, here she is. There you go. It wasn't like
It was a little whimsy.
She's been stuck in her own mind, and now it's seeping out. And oh yeah, she's back now.
Okay, I'm just not sure. Like, I've had a much harder time with other resurrections than this one. This one, she's literally the Phoenix. They got to, at this point, be like, girlfriend's been brought back from the dead like 4 times.
Yeah,
We're not surprised. Like,
That's not entirely true, but okay.
I figure when she shows back up at the mansion, people are like, oh, hey. Just sort of like,
Welcome back. You're not going to fry us right now, right?
Zombie! She's a zombie!
well, at the mansion, they're all a bunch of fucking millennials who are basically don't have time to look up from their Snapchat to realize that she's even been gone. They're like, oh, what? Haven't seen you
Are
in
you
a
a
while.
new student? You're hot.
could get a clip card for all her resurrections. Just like 10 ones free. So.
10 ones free. That's my joke. Higgins, you bastard.
Generic Protagonist on Twitter says, how high did you guys order on Power Rangers number 25 and how did it do for you? Seems
That is not a generic protagonist comment.
Seems
that is a quite niche protagonist comment.
generally did far better than anyone was expecting thanks to a short film released the Friday before featuring the return of Jason David Frank as Tommy. I'm going to pretend I understood anything you just said. I don't know anything about Power Rangers.
Can you just flag that one for next week when Toby's back?
We ordered 3 copies for the 3 people that order Power Rangers, and we don't sell it.
No shelf copies?
No.
I thought there was one
That-
shelf.
There was
one
There
shelf
was one
copy.
shelf copy.
a big
There shouldn't have been.
event. of some
I
sort.
haven't ordered Power Rangers for the shelf in
Higgins,
a
that's
year.
just hateful.
It just, I mean, the Power Ranger. Here's what happens with licensed comics, and we were talking earlier about the X-Men movies don't count. A licensed comic like Power Rangers doesn't count. It's not the Power Rangers TV show. It's not the primary source of the creation. So whatever they do on the comic doesn't mean anything, right?
How does that work
Yeah,
with
but-
stuff like Buffy, where they're
What-
having subsequent seasons, quote unquote? Oh, gray area.
That worked for quite a while, but I mean, even that is
Right. So when Buffy launched, it started really high and just kind of after a couple of years died. So Power Rangers, again, we sold 100 copies of number 1. And by number 5, I was down
Zero
to
went crazy too.
down to 7. And by like 12, I was down to 2 subscribers and no shelf copies, or 15 or something. So yeah, it's just these licensed comics just don't move long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, they apparently killed a Power Ranger. A big deal. Nobody cares.
well. I have no clue if they killed a Power
Well,
Ranger or
generic
not.
bro
But
Ranger cares.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say shit. If you like the comic, cool. It's just no one will come back for 26. Like I don't bother with things like this on books that we don't carry for the store. So if you're a subscriber and you want it, you got it. Cool. That's it.
That's cool.
Yeah, they did a thing where it was black bagged and there was a bunch of different variant covers inside of it and all this nonsense. And I was just like, nah, I don't want to deal with this shit.
We had a lot of people coming in
And-
for it.
Okay, so
but to give some context, they literally produced basically a short movie or basically the equivalent of a fan film with some of the one original Power Rangers actor to kind of throw out the premise, and that got a lot of attention online.
So when things get a lot of attention online, Higgins, I don't mean to paraphrase, but you are basically like,
Yeah, but
can't be bothered. This is not going to really move the needle.
But it came out the week before. And
the orders were
but if you were, like a month ago. If his nose was to the grindstone, which we all know Higgins is not.
See, the problem is.
Well, that was a joke, but okay.
When I see sales do this, and they have these little events, I could have ordered them, and I would have sold every copy I got, right? But I put it up to the customers. If people really want it, they tell me about it and they pre-order. And especially now with Comic Hub, I did get a couple pre-orders for it, and that's what I ordered because I didn't expect.
Oh, you did get pre-orders via Comic Hub?
Yeah. I had a couple of people order them.
So you sold more than the 2 or 3 or whatever?
Couple, yeah. So I mean, I think we got like 3 or 4 in, and then I got 2 more in this week because we had an advance reorder on it. So it sold out, but we were able to get a couple more. But again, everything just for special order, and that's it. So, but nobody signed up for 26.
Yeah.
So,
and nobody knew that video was going to drop ahead of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a marketing fail.
Yeah.
Unless it's this newfangled Beyonce marketing that I don't understand at all. Okay, very interesting. Hey, Higgins, I have a real store ownership question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
So you don't seem to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me with some comics, like maybe this one or whatever, it would stand to benefit you if you had like one shelf copy of a lot of the things that you don't carry shelf copies of, because people do see it and pick it up. But obviously you found over time that doesn't.
No. What'll happen, I keep pretty good tabs on what sells, and we don't have a big order window, right? I mean, we order something and it comes in for the next issue. I have basically a week. So if we sell 10 copies of new title, right? I'll order, maybe 8 of number 2. I figure a couple of people won't pick it up, but you have no idea, right?
Right.
If it isn't something that's like burning up the charts and sold out and on eBay for twice cover or whatever, right? But even when that does happen, this happened multiple times where I've had books where I think it was like Redneck and a couple others. It was like I sold 15, 20 copies of one and then 2 copies of number 2. It happens. Marvel and DC books, it doesn't happen nearly as regularly, but with the independent stuff, it happens all the time. Like the Brandon Fletcher book Isola that came out this week, I ordered I think 25 copies. Right? I think I ordered 10 number 2s. Because I know I'm not going to sell. We'll probably sell out or sell most of the number 1s, but nobody's going to buy number 2 because that's just what happens now. It's so rare that people actually pick up indie books.
I'm curious to see.
That is fascinating.
I'm curious to see how Oblivion Song 2 does.
So Kirkman or Brian K. Vaughan,
right?
Those are guys where they will have an audience.
Rick Remender.
Dude, like Deadly Class and Black Science, I'm selling like 2-3 copies of. Like that's it.
Well, I used to be on the pull list, but now I'm just waiting for those. It's their own fault for having sexy hardcovers.
You and everyone else. That's what happens. I mean, and again, I sell more of the trades, right?
He says 7-2 and turning. He's on hiatus too.
He showed some new art of a new issue, but yeah, it's like call me when you've got 6 in the can, because 1 issue means nothing. So yeah, it really sucks. It's tough. There is something to be said about the way Marvel and DC have consistent books that come out, and they're going to be there every month. When a Marvel book launches or a DC book launches, and I sell 20 copies, I know I'm going to sell probably 15 to 18 of the second issue. With the independent books, it's such a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I guess the impetus of my question was more like you don't have infinite space on your wall, so fair play. But I'm just wondering if you had more single issues, like would that get looky-loos to be like, oh, I'll pick this up because fucking YOLO and
maybe?
No, not particularly.
Cool, interesting. I
don't know the way I
didn't
look
know,
at it,
and that's an interesting take.
The way I look at it is, I'm a perfect example of somebody who has always found it endearing when I've walked around a shop and I see something that I don't normally see at other shops.
You're a perfect example of everything that is endearing to humanity.
But the fact of the matter is that's like when I go to a shop and I see Tick on the shelf, that makes me like the shop more.
Point made. Thank you.
That's me seeing the Tick. You can't really know I'm going to wander into that shop. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to end up buying the Tick comics off the shelf. And for all the books you do that with, you're probably only going to get one person who's going to wander through and see the book that they happen to be looking for. And then you have all these other books that just aren't moving.
Well, at some point it starts to look way too busy. Like there's just too much stuff on the wall.
Right. Good point. I mean, that's what I meant about not enough wall space. Because
well, no, even if you have the wall space, it starts to look convoluted and busy. I mean, we separate out here by publisher for at least for Marvel, DC, and Independent.
Yeah.
But I've gone to other shops where it's just straight alphabetical, and it's a giant mess. Like when you see all of these different
I feel
books
like,
lined up next to each other.
Yeah, I feel like Marvel and DC have a similar style, so that's why I rock them together.
Right.
Because
there's
I think
a happy medium where you could do Marvel and DC and then everybody else, or Marvel, DC, Image, and everybody else. Like there's some happy medium to be met. I was just wondering, like, how much the looky-loo market could be potentially leveraged by you, and it sounds like the answer is it's been tried and not enough.
95%.
Fair answer.
Yeah, 95% of what I sell single issue wise sells between Wednesday and Saturday. That's if I have a copy of a book on Saturday, I'm probably going to have that copy of the book on Wednesday and I'm on the following Tuesday, and I'm probably going to put that on the wall, and it's unlikely to sell. So there have been times where I'll go back and restock indie books. I mean, it happens, but by the time anything catches, you have the trades out, and that's the format. I don't stock 99% of our indie backstock we've pulled. I don't keep hardly any independent stuff in the bins anymore. Everything's trade paperback now. When I pull stuff off the wall, they go straight into the dollar bin for independent stuff because
unless it's Brian K. Vaughan, Ed Brubaker, or
sure
some big title,
right? Obviously, Walking Dead Saga, Paper Girls, that stuff will get filed, and some of like the Remender stuff and a couple Image titles like Descender. I mean, I'll put that stuff in the bin.
Jason
sure,
Aaron,
but
I'm with you.
but not most. And again, then I think about it, and I'm like, I just don't sell that stuff out of the bin. I sell Walking Dead and Saga and like nothing else, because everything else people just buy the trades for. So it's very tough. I don't know what people do for independent books. It's a real tough market.
I don't know why this. We've been sort of belaboring this Power Rangers question, but it seems like they were probably trying some guerrilla marketing with this whole dropping this video, this hype video. But it seems like a huge missed opportunity to not let store owners like I mean, there's order at least one more copy.
Well, I'm sure there's definitely stores out there that do really well with them. I know Vertigo. Valiant has a
Valley Fair
has a what?
Valco.
Jesus. Valiant has a big retailer reach out program where they push very hard to stores to do well with a Valiant, and we've tried, and I just can't break any sort of ceiling on Valiant. I sell to the subs. I only
want to buy one copy. Don't make me buy more.
I sell to the subs, and that's it. I don't sell Valiant off the shelf. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, you had a sub cancel, and so you ended up with an extra Exo Man or 13.
And 12 and 13, they're up there. I had one Shadow Man for the wall. I had like two subs, one canceled and one canceled that got all Valiant, and one dropped a bunch of Valiant. And so I'm just like, I cut my Valiant at that point. It's like, last two subs, cut two copies, because I'm not going to sell them off the shelf.
Well, it's a good thing you're about to start selling so many more X-Men books to make up for it.
Hopefully.
You're welcome.
Brandon asks, with all the sad news surrounding Bill Messner-Loebs, which I'll talk about in a second, what are some of your favorite stories? Bill Messner-Loebs was a comic creator. He is a comic creator. He did a lot of work in the 80s and 90s for DC, for a lot of the independent companies. I would think he's probably most well known for the post-crisis run on Flash. I kind of feel like that's going to be one of his bigger the thing. Oh well, hold on. There's that, and he's also the co-writer on the Max. I'd say those are probably the two things he's most well known for. But he had a pretty good career in the 80s and 90s. He did a lot of stuff, especially for DC. He wrote quite a bit of books. I know he wrote a big chunk of Impulse. He worked with Mark Waid. Sorry, he worked right after Mark Waid on Impulse, and Mark Waid followed him on Flash. Yes, that's correct. So, but he, as of recent, he lost his arm in a he had that. I think he lost the arm. I think that happened a while ago. He had to have surgery, but he's been working like part-time as a janitor and living in his car. He made a ton of money on the Max. I don't know what happened to that money. I mean, money doesn't last forever, obviously. If you have no other income or almost no income, you can burn through.
Also, what is a ton of money to one person?
I mean, he made at least, people have said he made at least $1 million on the Max because those first couple issues sold insane amounts of copies.
Does he live in California?
Right, exactly. It's not gonna last. Yeah. No, I think he lives, I'm not sure where he lives now.
In his car.
Well, he was living in a mobile home. Yeah, but yeah.
Sorry.
That's not good.
He meant geographically Brock.
Yeah. He's been helped in the past to the Hero Initiative, which is a nonprofit that gets charity donations and money for older comic creators that have no what. Well,
This guy makes $1 million on the Max. Shits the bed. I don't know the story.
25 years ago, right?
Okay, so I don't know the story, so I'm sure that I'm wildly wrong and totally offensive. But old boy makes $1 million on the Max, and now the Hero Initiative is helping him out because what? He didn't take care of his money?
Yeah, I mean,
there are so many more comic book creators that probably never made that much money that could be benefiting from this.
And they do. The Hero Initiative does help with a bunch of comic creators. So the whole thing with the Hero Initiative is, comic creators traditionally don't have pensions. They don't have any sort of they don't have health insurance.
Yeah.
You have guys like Bendis and
welcome to fucking working in the real world.
Yeah, you get the guys who get hired by the company that obviously have some sort of benefits and maybe some sort of I don't know, maybe stocks or something.
401k or something.
Yeah, sure. But a lot of the freelancers, they're just fucking freelancers, right? So
here's your $10.99.
And I think if you're in the 80s, 90s and you make a little bit of cash, and now it's 2018 and you're 70 years old. You probably, again, that cash doesn't last forever if you're not making a ton of money. So I don't know what happened in between. Nobody knows, but you don't want to see this happen to anyone, right? Hopefully he just lived his life and had financial trouble. So it wasn't anything weird about it, but, it sucks that, stuff like this happens, but they have things like the Hero Initiative out there to try to help these people. And yeah, a lot of comic creators have come to do donations to them and do charities for anyone affected. They get contacted regularly by older creators. But it does, if you have the ability to get a 401k or some savings or something, obviously you want to do this. But the question was, what are people's favorite runs? And for me, again, going to the Flash, that's kind of, when I think of him, that's sort of the run that I remember the most of his. I don't know if you guys have.
I don't think I've read too much of his stuff.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it when Wally took over as Flash. That was a good series.
Yeah. So he didn't write the very beginning of it. He wrote like the big middle chunk right before Wade took over. So he wrote. I was looking at a list here, like 15 to 61. So he didn't write just the relaunch.
Was that around Millennium?
Yeah, during that whole era. Yeah. But obviously the Max.
Millennium sucked.
I wish the Max feels like something I wish they would
collect.
Do something with.
So they did put the Max in smaller hardcover format.
Yeah, they're quote unquote maximized.
Yeah, and there's like 7 volumes. I believe I have all 7.
Yeah, they've started doing
but they
thicker
haven't done
trades.
they haven't done like a Max omnibus yet.
Yeah, they need like some.
So what you're saying, it's a Max pun fail.
They just need some like normal collections of the Max.
Well, I think they have normal size collections now for the trades, but they haven't done any nice hardcover normal size collections.
Are you totally missing out on the opportunity here? They need to have a max
size.
I'm completely convinced we will see amazing hardcovers eventually, but.
Yeah. Why doesn't old boy go to this publisher and be like, "Can you collect these, reprint them, and I'll get back on the horse, back on the wagon"? He's getting back on something.
Next question.
It's from Scott. He says, "How do you feel about Marvel putting its new trades up each week for 99 cents on Comixology all last month?" And we'll find out if it's happening this week again. It led me to buying such things I wouldn't otherwise, but who would buy the physical version? Well, did we talk about this before
No.
I left
when they first started it. We talked about it.
Yeah. So Marvel's been doing this thing where they've had a bunch of trade paperbacks up on Comixology for 99 cents. And then they started putting out all the new trades from the current week up for 99 cents as well.
God, Marvel's the best.
So
Marvel's so much better than DC.
I continue to look at this from one of two. Either they're doing this just to test the market to see if they can sell enough copies of trades. Here comes Lane with Psycho Donuts.
All right.
Because the trades coming out are like shit nobody's gonna buy. If you look
Squirrel Girl,
if you look at the 3,000, if you look at the 3,000 comic stores out there, maybe they're selling an average of one per store. So and not like this. When you're like 4 volumes into X-Men
honest
Blue,
question, you say 3,000 comic book stores. Is that in the U.S. or worldwide?
U.S. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do you have an approximate number for worldwide? I'm just out of curiosity.
That's stocked through Diamond Comics.
I don't fucking
I would
care
guess
or know.
4,000 maybe.
Okay.
Not too many more.
Okay. I'll take it. I like a rough estimate. I like it rough.
Whoa. There's a lot of accounts that are through Diamond that aren't comic book stores. You don't have to be a comic book store to have a Diamond account because they sell other stuff, right? Or you could be a card store, you could be a toy store, you could be just some other random store, but you want to carry a small amount of products that they have. You don't have to be a comic book store. But full-service comic store, I'd say probably 3,000 in the U.S. Okay. So with these Comixology trades for 99 cents, the shit Toby bought, Toby spent $100 on the original sale, and it was stuff he was never going to buy anyway. I think that's the thing. Most people are not going to buy these books physically, period. So for Marvel, it's free money. Because it's not shit. They're never going to sell. And for anyone that wants the physical copy, they're not going to not buy it because this digital copy is available. They already want the physical copy. The digital copy may just be an added bonus of like, sure, I'll pay $99. I kind of wonder if they're like, hey, will you pay $18.99 for the physical copy, $19.99 for physical and digital included? Like, I kind of wonder if like that's maybe what they're testing, like a little like digital buy-in.
Well, they did that before with the Treasury editions and some of the hardcovers, where you would buy the hardcover and the code was already.
Yeah, they had some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the OGNs came that way for a while.
Yep.
I love it. Experiment away. It's a brave new world. Millennials are taking it. You hate it. I love it.
Wes asks, what is there? Well, he asks, what's everyone's thoughts on metal? I did want to cover this real quick. We're not talking about metal this week. We're going to hopefully talk about metal next week.
Why did your voice crack? What's happening?
Hopefully we're going to have a very nice, big, long conversation about metal next week. Hopefully.
That's
all I'm going to say. Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that I agree, that I'm hopeful.
Yep.
Put your pinky down.
All right.
That's what she said.
Stefan. Oh, actually, hold on. Wes has 2 questions. Let me read a second question first.
I thought he had 2 questions.
I get to Stefanos. Wes says, obviously he never listen to this podcast. He says, what are your thoughts on Grant Morrison? He's one of those writers I have to be in the mood to read. Often I feel like I've missed a panel or page while reading his work.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. That said, Grant Morrison is my favorite
No, you can't say that.
comic writer currently writing. Alan Moore used to be on this list. He's no longer on this list. Neil Gaiman and Alan Moore.
Wait, what is the list? All time or current?
Neil Gaiman and Alan Moore exist in this godlike pantheon above everything else. I would put Jeff Johns, Tom King, Snyder, like right now, like that, like
no, it's way too
current working in comics. And we'll see as time goes on where they fall.
I fucking love Tom King. It's too premature though for Tom King. He's been
he's batting 1,000, man. Like
he is. I agree.
Okay, so how many comics does he have to have written?
That was my next question.
He needs to be in the industry, fucking knocking it out the park for.
I got a quick question.
5 years.
Quick question.
He's been doing it for. 2 or 3?
4.5. Literally, probably
when
4.
Was Vision?
So, do you own a...
Well, but he's been around prior to Vision.
Yeah, he did Grayson, too.
He's been around prior to Vision.
Yeah, but not... Vision was when Higgins even first started buying Marvel
but I mean,
comics.
No, he co-wrote Grayson, and that was that was not a launch title, but in Omega Men, he's been around for a good
I don't know
4 years.
If it's DC and it's not Batman, and you don't say, Bryce, you should pick this up, I don't know. So so he did Grayson, and that was really good.
But it's like all the other stuff where once he became known, people like me suddenly go,
"You guys are missing
I
the
need
point.
to buy these older stuff."
Yeah. No, you're missing the point. You're just putting Tom King prematurely in the God tier, is what I'm saying.
No, he's not in the God tier.
I said
Alan Moore and
current.
No,
I said Gaiman and Alan Moore have achieved that God tier status. Alan Moore was there at one point, but I have since removed him because I don't really care about Alan Moore anymore.
Wait, Neil Gaiman.
Alan Moore floats on
Grant Morrison.
Neil. Okay. So Gaiman and Morrison are in God tier. Alan Moore was there, and now he's in the Tom King tier.
I just don't care about Alan Moore anymore. I like him, but I've taken him out completely.
So there's some fucking TARDIS shit going on here.
So you've removed Garth Ennis too.
Well, if you look at his current work,
Garth Ennis.
Because Preacher's so good.
Well, that's where you have to kind of look at current work versus past work.
Yeah,
there's so many writers that at some point kind of lose that magic of what made them
Frank
great.
Miller? Garth Ennis.
So you kind of just have to put them where they belong based on old work.
Yeah, Garth Ennis, everything pre-2005, he would have been on that very top, not God tier, but in that top list. His last decade of output I haven't cared for. I mean, it's just nothing I care about. So he's not a bad writer at all. I love Garth Ennis, but no, I mean, Snyder. Even though Morrison is still currently writing stuff, I mean, Snyder, King, Johns, they are my top 3. But Morrison is on that other level. He has eclipsed just beyond anything, and his stuff in fucking 89 and his stuff in 2019 is just as good, and that rarely happens. I assume whatever he writes next year, I'll really like.
I was waiting for that
but
disclaimer to pop out.
It did not happen with Chris Claremont. I'll grant you that.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, you have so many people that will write for 30, 40 years, and they get not as good.
So who's the bottom of your list?
Well, I like this tiered structure. Who's the next tier?
Who's the dirt floor?
Do you have it on hand or no?
No. That's just my current.
You had me hooked with your top 2 tiers. I liked it.
Who's the
largely
dumpster fire
with it.
trash compactor?
I mean, anyone I don't like, I don't read, so I don't know. I don't care about.
I'm just wondering how many tiers this has to have.
I don't hate Al Ewing. I just don't like any book he writes.
Well,
he's like the new Cullen Bunn. I just don't care about any book that he writes. He's not a bad writer. I just don't care about the books.
What about Coates? Danny Coates? Donnie Coates? Is it
Donnie
Danny
Coates?
Or Donnie?
I like Donnie. No, I like every book he writes. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I can. He hates Mark Millar.
Cates.
I mean,
No, that's
Ta-Nehisi Coates, Donnie Cates.
Yeah,
yes.
Donnie Cates.
There's too many last names.
I mean, if I had to,
it's
2 weeks in a row.
Just start calling him T Coates.
The Marvel.
I
mean, the image list would be Brubaker, Rucka, BKV, and the Marvel list would
Aaron
be
and Remender.
Well, the Marvel list would be Aaron, Slott, and
Bendis Remender.
Do I have a third at Marvel right now?
Oh, you mean current?
Current. Yeah.
Fucking Guggenheim is doing great.
He's all right.
Yeah,
Bryce's son?
What about Bryce's son?
He's fine.
He's fucking got great genetics. I'll tell you that.
I mean, Mark Waid sort of gets out like asterisks next to him, where it's like, yeah, it's Mark Waid. Just put him on there. I like Mark Waid. Someone's been writing for 30 years, and I like his stuff now as much as I've ever liked it. So, I mean, it's not Kingdom Come, but I like Mark Waid. So, I think Cap's been great. Champions.
Kingdom Come was awesome.
So, you are. It's not you. He skips around and stuff isn't there, and you have to connect the dots and read a Wikipedia page like 6 times and reread it like 4 times.
That's why I love Grant Morrison.
So I don't even think you necessarily need to read a Wikipedia page. He's one of those writers.
He did it for Final Crisis.
Oh, I'm completely aware. I
watched him do it.
Read it? I wrote it.
But
why did you watch him read it? Couldn't you have spent your time better elsewhere?
Okay, Ryan.
You watch somebody reading something.
You don't always see what Ryan does on the non-busy days.
It just seems to me that
sometimes
watching somebody
he's just
read
sitting
something.
there going,
Remember when there were not busy days? Oh my god, I miss those.
No, but the way I look at this is there's various movies and TV shows that, like, when you watch it the first time, you get a certain amount out of it, but subsequent viewings, you get a lot more out of it. He's one of those writers where if you can devote the time to reread his runs multiple times, you'll get more out of it.
Yep. I agree.
I agree, too.
Next question.
Moving on.
Stefano asks, for Ryan and anyone who's worked at a comic shop, as a comic shop employee, has there ever been a moment where you find yourself being a real heel and a comic book guy type of person, particularly to customers? If so, is there anything in particular that rehabilitated that attitude? Now, no. Except among friends and customers that I know really well.
Yeah, me too.
Jim the other day. So this is
bullshit.
Okay, all right. No, you got to listen to this count. You got to listen to this example right here.
So who was it? It was
per degaton.
It was Jim. It was you and Toby were here, right?
And Toby,
and it was
watching TV.
Yeah. And it's the Batman
during business hours.
It's the Batman.
Where
Brave
do you fucking work?
It's our TV that's always on playing cartoons.
Which has been wanting to update for like an hour.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. We'll update it later. So it was the Batman Brave and the Bold episode came on, right? And they're looking at it, and this character walks on, and Toby looks at this character and says, "Is that Daredevil?" Right? Because it's Toby.
Brave and the Bold?
Yeah, it's Batman Brave and the Bold, right?
Fucking Toby, come on.
So because it's Toby, I don't give him too much shit. And Jim looks at the TV and goes, "No, that's D-Man." Right? Now,
wait, trolling him, Jim?
Bullshit. Okay. Bullshit. So Jim looks up and says D-Man. Exactly, and I look at him, I'm like, what the? It's not fucking D-Man. Get out of my store. What's wrong with you?
What exactly did you say?
I don't remember. What
Get the fuck out of my store.
Yeah.
That's exactly his words to me.
I've never been
people are sitting over in the chairs, and while I'm standing over here, and everybody's like, oh!
It's just regular. It's just regulars, not anyone.
I haven't been this attracted to Higgins in at least 10 minutes.
And so, of course,
what'd I do?
In, nerdiest comic book guy, I'm like, that's not Daredevil, that's not D-Man, that's fucking Per Degaton. You, Jim, of all people, should know this. And it's like, nobody knows what we're talking about, right? But I would never have said that to anyone.
Are there other people in the store?
Like regulars. When we were at the old store, people would walk in and look at the Grendel statue that the old owner had put up there, and they're like, Venom, and I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's Venom.
Yeah, no,
who cares? We had
Venom. We had a 5. Well, we still do. We have a 5-second rule. Where we don't talk shit until you're 5 seconds out.
Yeah, after the door's closed.
That's even the 5-second rule I'm used to.
But no, I will seriously start counting, and Ryan goes, "Yep, we're going to talk about it."
But then they'll be like, they'll come to the door and be like, "Oh, the Justice League. That was like based on the Avengers, right?" I'm like,
just like.
I'll keep it inside.
Okay,
but when Jim confuses Per Degaton for D-Man,
it was not a confusion.
You know I'm going to let him know it.
This is the best though.
It was a straight troll. It was a straight troll.
There is a moment.
I knew Toby did not know any better, one way or the other.
Sounds like a Lombard Street troll. Does not sound straight at all.
There is something that could possibly trigger Ryan, and I've almost seen it happen, and that's when people come in and go, "Has Sheldon been in yet today?"
Oh no, that I just laugh it off.
At first you didn't.
If Jim said it, I'd shoot him a fucking look. If it's random, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. No, that's funny. Like, I felt bad. There was a guy in here today, and he was walking around. Oh, actually, something we should talk about. Stan Lee is supposed to actually be back in the convention circuit and be at Silicon Valley Comic Con here in San Jose this weekend, right?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. Now this will be something obviously we'll recap next week, but that shit ain't happening. There is a zero. They're telling people, and he's like, "I'm totally coming. Buy your tickets. Friday at 4:59. By the way, I'm totally not making it because I can't make it because I wouldn't survive the flight. Like, there's no chance in hell he's going to be here.
They're like pre-selling this. Like, there's
they've been pre-selling it for forever.
That is super fucked up. What?
Okay.
What?
Oh no,
Look,
he sponsored Silicon Valley Con with Steve Wozniak.
Yeah, his name was attached initially.
No, I'm familiar with
that. They had removed him from the site and all that. They put it back. He put out a video saying he will definitely be there. I'm counting on him being there. I will be at Silicon Valley Comic Con, and I want.
A lot of people are waiting for him to show up.
Good luck, Charlie.
I don't fucking care.
We don't know
At
how
least
many
I'm
more
there for
appearances
David
he
Tennant
has in
too.
him.
Okay, what I want
If you
is
see Katie Sackhoff, say hi for me. I have to work.
It's okay. David Tennant.
Can we have Charlie and Higgins arm wrestle? And whoever wins will determine whether or not.
There's no way in hell Stanley shows up. There's just no fucking way.
What are you going to do if he does?
Be very surprised. I mean, so
That is the fucking weakest ass.
There was a guy that was in here earlier today, and he's looking around. I had a couple people in here.
Was it Charlie?
No, I had a couple people
Was
in here.
it me?
This weekend, and then today being like, or yesterday being like, oh yeah, I wanted to pick up something because I'm going to the Stan Lee signing, and I'm like,
No, you ain't, bruh.
and when the guy was there today, I was like, man, for your guys' sake, I really hope he shows up. I was like, I would
He
really
looked much
cross your
better
fingers.
in the video he put up saying he would be there. I mean,
I find this fascinating. You have not disagreed openly with Higgins about much, and even though you're not,
He wants to believe. Okay, he's not
I
smoldering this. Okay,
absolutely, completely want to
The amount of
believe.
hope that this man has right now for this to happen is far superior than his hope and love for BVS.
So you're saying that Charlie's Hope Man?
I just don't believe.
Remember the previous, not the last video, but the previous video for that, how frail he was and everything.
Yeah.
People don't know how many more signings he has left in him.
How many?
But I mean, the video he put up.
How many videos are you talking about?
Okay,
Just one batch.
so he put out that.
It was really.
He put out that one video where it looked like he could be on his deathbed.
Yeah.
Yes, that was
Then
very
he
sad.
went silent for weeks,
Yeah.
and literally
And had
last
pneumonia.
week he put out a new video confirming he would be at Silicon Valley Comic Con. He looked much better. He sounded much better. They're using that
I
video
have
in
a
their
horrible
advertisements
imagination.
for Silicon Valley Comic Con.
Okay, I have a great solution here. This is what the audience wants. If Charlie wins, signed copy of Cable Number 1 raffled off by Ryan Higgins. Signed by Ryan Higgins. And Charlie me if you want. Doctor Who, some fucking bullshit comic, signed by Charlie and only Charlie because nobody gives a fuck. if Ryan Higgins is right and or he owns a Doctor Who comic, God bless him. What do you guys think about that wager? We raffle it off.
I really hope Stanley shows up. I just would not hold my
Is
breath.
this you obfuscating like the Man of Steel commentary that I still want to do?
I just don't believe he's going to show up. I mean,
Right, so can we make it interesting is what I'm saying.
it was interesting. That's now the conversation.
This is not
over.
interesting unless we put some fucking stakes in there.
But Stefano was asking like if
Well,
you ever
I
been kind
love
of a
steak.
dick to a customer. And I don't think it was a dick, but this guy earlier today, I was like, man, I was like, that's cool that you want to get something for Stanley to sign. I just would not hold my breath that he's going to be there. So
There's customers that I've wanted you to be a dick to.
I mean,
nah, don't be dick.
they suspended
bad guy?
sales of all sorts of stuff. They did all but confirm his cancellation until they confirmed he would actually be there.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope he shows up. Let's hope he's getting healthier. By the day.
4:59. What days is he supposed to be there? Saturday, Sunday.
I think he's supposed.
All
I
3
know
days?
he's there at least Saturday, Sunday. I'm assuming Friday too, but yeah.
Thursday, 4:59. Check your emails. I'm just saying.
Charlie, I hope for your sake, I hope you get the chance to meet him.
Yeah.
Can I give you my Amazing Spider-Man 215?
I didn't do a signing thing.
Your picture?
I bought a picture, but I'm gonna have my kids take a picture with
Oh,
me.
that's cool. That's cool. All right, here's
Charlie
one for
just
Charlie.
has to stand behind the background and they'll still get his head in a shot.
I got 2 questions left. Oh, we got a bunch of questions. I'm not going to get to all these, so we got 2 questions left. I figure this one's for Jim and Charlie since they're sitting right here. It's from Pete. He says, "Does anyone in the group have a
I'm
favorite?"
just not even sitting here.
Well, it's a question that they'll have an answer for. Is anyone in the group have a favorite prop or replica? The Marvel Legends Infinity Gauntlet is a lifetime dream come true for me.
Bastard.
Oh, now it's twisting the knife.
Hey, aren't we
Charlie
supposed to
and
be able
I
to
are
get
still
those through
trying
Diamond?
to. Charlie and I are still trying to acquire our Infinity Gauntlets. We haven't.
So
haven't had any
Diamond
luck.
Ryan
Comics.
killed me today.
I don't know what is going on. You'd think the comic book distributor would be able to send comic book props to comic book stores from a comic book company. Apparently, that's not how it works. I don't know.
They can
what,
barely send you actual comics.
I don't know what is going on with the Infinity Gauntlet going to comic stores. It's possible some stores got them. We haven't. So
It's because they know you fucking hate Marvel Comics.
maybe.
So to answer your question, I think right now my favorite one I have is a cap shield, but that will be replaced when I get
That is a nice one.
My gauntlet. My gauntlet is like a dream come true. The gauntlet is literally the thing where I'm like,
second only to being married to somebody in the
while
audience.
they're moving everything towards
Did
that
he
arc
cry
in the
when
movies.
the bad news came that it wasn't in?
Like, I immediately went, they're finally going to give me a gauntlet. Because I figured when the gauntlet appears in the movies, I would be able to buy a nice quality gauntlet, just like with Green Lantern batteries and all that stuff.
He's been planning on changing his Facebook photo for years.
Yes, I have literally been waiting years for a nice wearable Infinity Gauntlet.
Charlie's relationship
and one
with
exists.
the gauntlet, it's complicated.
and now one exists, and I can't seem to get my hands on it.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was the question?
In it.
Favorite prop and/or replica.
Okay,
sorry.
I have my answer, but Jim,
go ahead.
Okay,
I got plenty of answers.
Holy shit, that is more than I have. So I don't have much. I have one Deadpool statue that Charlie sold me, and made a lot of money from me on. No, but seriously, my favorite prop is probably my Infinity Gauntlet oven mitt that I have.
Is that the Loot Crate one?
I think that I got it from Loot Crate.
That catches fire. Don't use that thing.
I'm not an idiot. I wouldn't use it. It's from Loot Crate. Like, what?
It's just some garbage pile on the floor.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I use to start my dumpster fire.
I have it, and I may or may not ever use it, but I don't have a lot
They
of...
recalled those.
They did not.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I did not know that. But
So you have a special limited, non-burnt...
Yeah, unburnt but still very flammable, limited edition Infinity Gauntlet oven mitt. Yeah, I don't know. I love the idea, and I wouldn't use it because I don't do a whole lot of oven stuff, and I usually just fold up a towel in half and just use that. Am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. You're welcome.
Okay, so his Infinity Gauntlet oven mitt, that's his favorite.
Yeah, that is probably my favorite. For like what, apparel and toys?
Your favorite prop or a replica?
So I'm picturing basically a Jim Briefly here.
Oh, shit.
You know what? The guys razz me, but yes, I do have a lot of prop replicas at home. Marvel. I have a lot of DC. But the one prop replica that is my favorite...
You have way more than just that. You have stuff from tons of other shows.
It's like the Maestros.
But the one thing I have, the one favorite that I have is the one that nobody ever made and that I had to make for myself. And that is the Wolverine adamantium skeleton, life size.
Fuck is that? You made that?
You don't know about this?
This is the one I made.
You made this?
It's a life size, anatomically correct skeleton. Chromed out. I wired in the claws myself.
Wait.
And he
life
stands
size, like actual, like
6
5
feet,
something?
like 5 something feet tall. Yeah,
Okay.
like 5'10". And
I'm at a loss for words.
It stands in the corner of my library. That is my favorite prop of all time right now.
Holy. Okay.
I got Captain America's shield. I got 3 different Thor's hammers. I got Thunderstrike mace. I got Thor's helmet. I got Doctor Doom's mask. I got,
This is the Maestro.
This is the Maestro. Yeah. I have 2-3 different Green Lantern power batteries. I have all kinds of power rings and stuff. But
I think when they stopped making them, I heard you crying.
The favorite one is the Wolverine adamantium skeleton in the corner.
Yeah, for people that don't know what this is,
I don't understand how you made this. It looks unreal, and 7th of all, or wherever I'm at.
People have been turning it into memes on on Twitter and on Facebook and stuff.
First of all, okay, where are we at? 8th of all, that's fucking awesome. 9th of all, why does he have so many teeth?
That's how many teeth. No, that's how many teeth is in the human head.
How were you able to do this? That looks so cool.
So Maestro, for those that don't know, in the Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect, it's like a future evil version of the Hulk that has this like prop room of all like these people he's killed and taken over, because he's basically taken over the world. It is like a crushed Nova helmet. There's like a broken cap shield. There's all this stuff, and it's Wolverine's like adamantium skeleton, right? Is in this prop room, and yeah, Jim made one.
Actually, you're so close, but you're just a little off. It wasn't Maestro's trophy room. Rick Jones went around and collected all the memorabilia from all the very old.
Sure.
Rick Jones is still running around in Xavier's floating chair, but Rick Jones collected all the heroes memorabilia and have them in this trophy room. Beast's fur, crushed helmets of Nova Corps, Iron Man pieces of armor, Dr. Octopus's arms, a Sentinel head storing the Thing's rocks in it, all kinds of bottles of cremated people, Jean Grey dead again, stuff like that, and it's awesome.
Not for long,
it's awesome.
She'll be
It's
back,
awesome.
and nobody will be surprised except for
That
Higgins.
is the one, between that one and at the end of Days of Future Past, when Wolverine gets toasted by the Sentinel and you see a skeleton the first time, that was one of the first things that inspired. I said, I got to have a Wolverine skeleton in the corner of my freaking library.
Wait, first of all, that's kind of badass of you. Second of all, how do you fucking make a human anatomically correct skeleton?
They've known I've worked on it for years.
Yeah.
And it took me years to find the right skeleton, to chrome it out, to get it perfect, to find the right claw. And when the X-Men movie came out, and they started putting out claw sets, that's when I could finally start making the skeleton itself.
True or false, you are actually a serial killer.
False.
Thank God.
Gonna read
My
one
story, and I'm sticking to it.
Would he tell you the truth about that?
Gonna read one last question here before we wrap up.
I'll show you more pics later.
It looks awesome.
And this is from Anthony. He says, here's a question. When you go on vacation, why do you hide the mics whenever you leave town? These clowns are unlistenable. Bam! The 49% speaks.
Who said that?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Totally not a sock puppet account of mine.
First of all, Higgins just stole my first joke about you. Second of all, you're perfectly entitled to your wrong opinion to channel my inner Higgins, which he does all the time. And
I love it, even if I hate you all. So.
anyway, yeah, unlistenable. Yeah, I love you, Anthony. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, here's a question from Alex. Actually, we will end with this because it's a question from the Point 5 episode.
Oh.
Who would you rather vote for if you had to, Donald Trump or Lex Luthor?
Oh,
for president.
Wait, but
Yeah.
I answered this for
Yeah,
you.
you guys answered this. Yeah, the rest of us didn't.
Wait, but did you hear my answer for you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm very curious to hear your answer.
I mean, Lex Luthor, no question.
Lex Luthor.
So, did any of you guys
the real
listen to the
stable
episode?
genius.
Did any of you guys listen? No?
No.
Yes, I was here.
Lane listened. Lane, do you want to come and... So my response on the point 5 for those bastards that don't appreciate my genius... What?
Not entirely.
Luthor would stay in office. That's the thing. Even if he's a bad guy, I think he would still do...
Why are you qualifying my answer before I've even given it for you?
The incompetence level is going to be... He's not going to be incompetent, but I question what his long-term motive is.
I didn't have a lot of clarifications like this for your answer.
What's your...
But I gave your answer,
What's that?
which is that you would... I forget exactly, but it was something along the lines of you would literally rather donate a testicle than vote for Donald Trump. Is that true or is that false?
I mean, sure. I mean, I would do anything first. But, Luthor...
Okay.
This is...
Good job, Bryce.
This is the challenge accepted moment.
In the comics, when they elected Luthor president, right, the whole idea was people think he's this philanthropist. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for.
No, it's philanthropic.
That's
what you're looking for.
Yeah, sure. He's.
What do you mean? Sure, that's legitimately accurate.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's this head of a captain of industry. He's he's trying to save the world. He's trying to do all this great stuff. They don't know the villainous end of it. So Trump's a little. His villainous.
All I said on the
We all
point
understand
5
his.
is exactly what you've corroborated, which is, of course, it's Luthor, and it's a ridiculous question because you would literally rather donate a testicle than vote for Trump, and you just very unimpressedly corroborated my statement.
Sure. There you go.
That's what we're ending on?
Sure, we'll end on that.
Donald Trump and your nut?
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to end on. I'm going to read a couple Patreons here, but I've been coughing a little. My throat's not as great as I want.
Are we doing random picks?
So, no, because it's been way too long. However, I will
Scott, you need to come on because he'll actually listen to you.
I will steal Bryce over here if I could somehow make the screen larger.
Do I get to read it again?
Yeah, I totally want you to read it
again.
But let me read the first bits. But I don't know what I did to make the screen so small. So get your glasses.
Zoom it out.
I don't know what I did.
Is it online? Just go to the view.
View. I'm getting so old.
Christ.
There we go. Zoom. 100%. Oh, 90%. 100%. There we go.
There, yeah.
All right.
Yay, technology.
We have to thank our good friends from Patreon here. First, Albert Soy. And he has his app, Canby. Now, we are still running the promotion through Canby. It's a gift card and a rewards program thing. We did the gift card here at the store. If you spend $25 on a gift card through Comics Conspiracy, if you sign up through his app, you get an extra $5. So when you buy for $25, kicks back $30.
Now, can people do this like mail order?
No, it's an app.
No, but can they buy the gift certificate on the app and then do a mail order purchase?
That sounds awful.
I don't believe so. I believe you have. It's an app. I believe you have to be in store.
Okay.
Julian Titus has the Nerds Without Pants podcast. Nerds Without Pants podcast.
No pants. You should be on this podcast. You love Donald Duck.
.com. I do love Donald Duck. Ryan Hess has Blowhards. It's a video game podcast. That's at blowhards.libsyn.com. I also want to thank Jody Lawson with the Canon Triad Comics Anthology, Sam Che, Craig Anderson, Joe Duff, Andrew Nelson Mendez, and our new one of our new top tier baggers, Darfox 8, coming over. Darfox, man, coming over from the Manga Machinations and from All Talk Podcast. So, Darfox, thank you for your.
Does he have anything for us to plug?
Manga Machinations, which we plug every week. So we don't need to. I think that's all he wanted. But yeah, thank you, Darfox. Bryce, why don't you read these names? Don't pull a Toby. Stop at some point.
Just read them all.
At what point should I stop?
Just read them all.
Stops this bit.
Per Degaton,
you
Sugar
got
Man.
it. Oh, my Ajax brother, Dennis. Is it Jansen or is it Janssen? We're gonna go with Janssen. Dennis, if your name isn't Janssen, then sorry, not sorry. Alex McHale, Matthew Schnapp, delicious. David Baroldi. By the way, sorry in advance, not sorry. I tried to do this, but this is only my second time doing this.
He's drunk.
That's what she said, and that's not true, Jim. Don Kilson, Mark Long, thank you very much. Michael Zakovec, Ivan Less snacking, Ivan. Less snacking. Just kidding, Ivan. Brian Morawski, Samurai Godzilla. Whoa. What is...
Yeah, that's what I did earlier.
Why don't you get a Mac? Jesus. Miles Gakula, Rich Guerrera, Bryce Larsen, quotes! Wow, what a handsome gentleman. Paula Schultz, Mark Smith, Keith Amaral, JT Quinn. JT, I like your first name. Christopher Noyes, Kevin Nguyen, David Safar, Identity Student the Comic.
Oh,
what the hell?
Identity Stunt.
That's dyslexia.
You know what? Actually, no, keep going. I'll talk about Identity Stunt in a minute.
That's a good story. PJ Ryder, thank you, PJ. Tyler Willits, what a handsome running gentleman. Rob Ben Dixon, Travis, come on, you're killing me. Fleischman, oh, that's not actually that bad at all. Anirban Banerjee, Christopher Stone, Thad Gutschall, Sit Comics, Timothy, you don't have a last name, Chris Lockhart, just watch Harry Potter over the weekend with the old lady, Lockhart, love him, Aaron Wright, Father Dante, Garen Dunbar, Brian Wilson, Nick Harrison, Chris is from Hawaii because his last name is Palakiki. Palaki. Chris Palaki. Kevin Ellis. Chris Olivius. Wally Ansari. Nick Zappas. Mario Miranda. Dominic Arisman. Chris Kim. Chris Bunch. Gordon McKenzie. J.R. Barak. Stephen Hayden. Edgar Moreno. And Andrew Crucieri. You guys, we literally, I'm also rewatching Parks and Rec. Great show to rewatch. Highly recommended. Literally couldn't do this without you guys and everybody else that donates anything, but especially this amazing. Good Lord, we are so #blessed. By the way, I hate that hashtag. But thank you guys so much. We literally couldn't do this without you. We really appreciate all of the support. It helps to keep Higgins going and not buying us pizza. Higgins, back to you.
Identity stunt. I want to talk about this real quick. Joe Cachadorian is one of our been a listener to the podcast for a long time.
Identity student.
Identity student. Yeah, no, identity stunt. He's a comic coming out through, or it's actually, the first issue is already out through Marcosa, but it's also through Comixology, and he was nice enough to link our storefront through his site as he placed to purchase his digital comic. So if you pick up Identity Stunt through through his website, then it goes directly to our digital storefront at digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. It's Joe Cachadorian and Ruari Coleman is the artist. He actually provided us with a handful of print versions of the comic. It's a pretty limited print run for the print release. However, you can pick up digital comics, digital copies, and obviously there'll be a trade paperback coming out in a little while. So, I want to thank Joe once again for that. That's super cool. Kick a couple bucks there on the digital storefront, and for anyone that purchases the comic digitally. Don't forget to go to comicconspiracypodcast.com, geekbox.net, and iTunes. Give us some rating reviews, please, on iTunes. Always helps. The Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net if you've got a little more long-form question. We have a couple. I'll try to do a couple in a week or two. Again, patreon.com/comicconspiracy is where you can go to kick us a buck or two if you want to help us out on Patreon. Digital.
There's going to be some exclusive content up tonight.
Yes, on Patreon. There was some exclusive content up this weekend. There will be some more up tonight. So if you're a Patreon member, make sure to check out patreon.com/comicconspiracy.
Wow. A wealth of extra credit material.
Yeah.
No, he's just been lazy and not put one of them up.
Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. That's where you can go to get digital comics from us, including those 99-cent Marvel trades. We get our whole 15% if you buy from us. So give us our 14.5 cents. Yes. Rake it in the dough.
Before tax.
Yeah. Conspiratorbrock.com, that's Brock's blog and video pull list. Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast, as well as Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my wife Leanne's Etsy store. She just put up a Women of Wakanda print. It's pretty good looking, if I do say so myself, so you can check that out. I'm on Twitter, Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Brock Sager. Bryce is Larsen Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. He's going to be out for a few weeks. He's super busy, so hopefully he's back end of the month, maybe sooner. Charlie is Insanity and Chaos. The store is ComicsCon Store. Jim is LD Exterminator. You can follow us all on Twitter. Send us messages. And
follow Bryce Larsen quotes just because.
Yes, he donated to Patreon, so definitely
highly recommended.
Yeah.
At the $5 tier.
He doesn't even follow me, that jerk.
Well, I wouldn't either. Wait, do I?
No, Bryce Larsen quotes. He follows, I think, everyone but me on
that's probably because he has good taste.
Geekbox, Comedy Button, and Manga Machinations, and Infinite Binge on YouTube. Make sure you check those guys out. Those are some of our little podcasts on the little network. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we'll catch you next week.